Child Lord and Steve-O, pushing past Dapper Dan, wide body, new keys. First I'm swinging by the fever, and from there it's 2 G's. Gucci link, Dookie rope, and a nugget bracelet. Take it, boom, bash, violate, butt naked. Eat 'em like a Willy burger, give a pound of AZ. In New York, clap your soul like a show in AG. DRES, I was born to be a vet. Peace to Runzo Madison, freeunique.net.
Upon a time not long ago, I used to chill on my block, bumping the Fat Joe, digging in the crates cause it was time to flow. When I hit the BX, I cash the phone. When I hit Brooklyn, I cash it too. Spread love to my homies for my Franklin crew. Reppin' my hood, Adidas with the shell tops. Who got the props? Who got the props? Club 2000, unique Mecca audio. Live on your set, dumbing out where the 40 go. DJ on deck, free crib where my shorty go. Hip hop is comatose, I bring the Holy Ghost. I miss a skate key, 5411s. Chick with bamboo, they left a good impression. Money on my grind, no, I never have stepping. I think I got the fever for the flavor, go get 'em.
My block, who's not? Step up on the scene, nothing like the rooftop. New York, state of mind, the apple's my empire. On my watch, Times Square, I'm one of the insiders. What you know about parties at the Mecca? Rendezvousing at Sue's, gotta pay a little extra. Bottles of my wet, haters are no threat. Give them a cold shoulder and wish them a slow death. Learn to hustle on the fly, say it with me, free unique. Take the party to Dubai when the homies see the streets. Quick plane ride just to kick it on the beach. Then back to NY, no surrender, no retreat. The club's still open and the night's still going. Keep the champagne flowing and the life wheel rolling. Queen Liberty, profit amongst scholars. This stone record for stacking the most dollars. Come on.
My dude, uniquemeccaaudio, man, the original party man, and my man Ron G for producing this track, man. Best of luck, best wishes. Kev Chow, CEO, Don D. Omega, man. Peace.
You know what it is, where the April showers get ready to come in, even though it's March, so we just rolling down the block. So now as we going up there, you know, we got butterflies in our stomach, but at the same time, this is our regular lick. You know what I mean? So we pull up in front of the building on 160th, so now we get out and we run up in the joint. So we...
Yo, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man, I'm here. I got old Harlem with me. We're going to do what we got to do. I mean, we just gonna give y'all, you know, a rest in peace, you know, to the big homie K-Slay. You know, you already know that's the homie. I did videos with him and everything. That's family. You know what I mean? So this a rest in peace to K-Slay. You know what I mean? I wanted to do it myself. You know, it's a sad time, but you know, Slay already know me for partying. I know him for partying. So you know, we're gonna turn up and we're gonna get out the funk. But, you know, this is definitely a rest in peace to K-Slay, just so everybody know. All right. But we're going to reminisce, man, about Harlem, how much fun we had with him DJing and, you know, the era and things like that. And I brought brothers that was with me during the era, that know the era, that I stamped that know the era. And so does everybody else, because the street stamped the real. All right. Just so y'all know. So I'm going to bring my man Zeke up first. You know what I mean? Just so you know who it is. Tell them who you are and where you from, family.
Yeah, my name is Zeke. They call me Zeke Black. I'm from East Harlem, Spanish Harlem. I've been in Spanish Harlem since 1979. I grew up in the culture of hip hop, original block parties. So I'm from first I moved to 117th Then I moved to 114th from First Avenue, 117 between First and Second, and then I moved to Washington Projects, which is on 99th Street, Lexington houses. So I grew up in the era of hip hop when Kayslay and when Kayslay was Desi Dez, and when guys was doing graffiti, and when Dez was writing graffiti, he wasn't doing it thinking that there was a bag involved. When he was doing graffiti, it was all for pride, and you know, I got my name, and you know, you had props for having your name up because it was a different era in New York back then. We're talking about the 70s to the early 80s. Happened to be in the mix of what he was doing that some liberals downtown started to catch the eye of what these guys were doing on the trains, because a lot of individuals wasn't coming uptown unless you was on you was police, a caseworker, you know, other coaches, you know what I'm saying? Other than Black, Puerto Ricans, and Italians, and some Irish, you police, firefighters, or caseworkers, or you actually had a drug habit. Those are the only other mixes that was coming into our neighborhoods. So the art of graffiti is the first thing a lot of people seen, and they wanted to inquire about that. And in inquiring about the graffiti, they learned of the arts of what we call hip hop. So Kayslay, which was Desi Dez TFA, he had a strong crew back in the days called TFA. And he was getting up on the trains crazy. Not just him, but Dondi, Shaker, 179. You know what I'm saying? There's a host of other great graffiti artists. Ghost, RIS, the FC crew, the guys who own Post No Builder, that clothesline originally, the FC crew, the ones that Nick Cannon bought, they was graffiti artists. All these guys, a lot of these guys came from that era, but Kayslay made a name for himself for being from East Harlem. And these guys was going to, you know, Kayslay was going to these galleries, like a lot of other great artists from East Harlem, like Dar TRC. You're from East Harlem, 100th Street and Lexington Avenue is a famous block. Not just because Tone Lopez, rest in peace, in the Hill Hole, because of the TRC crew. If y'all know Smoke, you know Rock, that's their brother from 100th Street. Carver Mob, you know what I'm saying? Technically, you know Gerald, you know what I'm saying? So all this stemmed to hip hop. When hip hop was for free, when dudes are doing it for pure props. I grew up around all this, and I got to see this. Dez was our king. When he did in junior high school 13, with some of y'all young kids called 106 in Park, there's a school across the street from that studio called Junior High School 13, Jackie Robinson, which was a legal war in the 80s. That Kayslay and them, I guess, was a part of that movement, getting it to become a legal war where you could do burners, throw ups, and do graffiti on. And Kayslay, he did a piece, Smurf Village, with Vulcan in them, Vulcan, TFA, and a host of other TFA artists, and that was big. And that's when I first started writing. He inspired a whole lot of graffiti writers. But who'd have thought that, again, we're talking about graffiti, because of graffiti, most of these liberal writers, they began to make documentaries about hip hop, like Wild Style, because they made them want to inquire what comes with this art. It comes from the ghetto. And what came with the art was the introduction to Kool Herc, Zulu Nation, and the rest is history. So Kayslay was a part of that, and I grew up under that generation. My crew was PT 131 I ran with back then. And we was popular in East Harlem and some other places, but I come from the fruit of graffiti before crack hit. It was still a dope. Dope was still a big thing. Crack was not a thing. Angel dust was like the biggest epidemic back then. PCP was the thing back then. PCP, mescalines.
Tell them what year you're talking about, family. Tell them what year.
We're talking about. We're talking about at least from 83 to 87. Because when crack first hit, that was a club drug. It really wasn't a block thing.
Let me give y'all. Let me give y'all a little something. Okay, back then we talking about, let's take it to 1980. You know what I mean? 1980, you know, you come uptown, you go to Washington Heights, you go to 163rd Street. You know what I mean? 163rd Street was the block, you know, between Broadway and Amsterdam that was known for having it. You know what I mean? Wow. That was the come through block. We talking about the beginning. You know what I mean? That's the come through block. You know what I mean? So you go through there, you do you, and back then there wasn't no crack, there wasn't no, you know, it wasn't no none of that. It was just sniffing coke, or they was cooking it up and smoking it as freebase. You know what I mean? Where back then it was like $100 a gram, $90 a gram. You understand what I'm saying? That's the era that we talking about. You know what I mean? 1980. You know what I mean? Yes. Before the crack. And at that time they had heroin, so they put the two together and they made what they call speedball. Big shout out to Boy George, free Boy George. You know what I mean? So I'm just giving y'all a little history on that.
That's history on it.
You know what I mean? So now after that, then they opened up like 158th Street, started having something 174th Street, 173rd Street, you know what I mean? And things like that. Now it opened up where there was more coke spots. Then when crack hit, then we had the Ghostbusters bus up there, and, you know, Polite, you know, whopping them over there at 59th Street. I mean, you know, dudes did what they did. We had official dudes in Harlem. They was getting $20 a bottle when they started. $20 a bottle. You know what I mean?
Hit the like button. This is history right here. Hit the like button. This is
$20 a bottle. That's how that joint began in New York, up there on Amsterdam. Big shout out, like I said, to Polite and Wop. You understand what I'm saying? They had it jumping up there. I mean, but you know, that's Harlem, man. You know, that's how they do. But, you know, so we do our thing back then. And then now when the crack come, you understand what I'm saying? Everybody started moving out with it. That came during the era of the Scarface era. You understand what I'm saying? When the movie Scarface was out and everybody wanted to sell coke and all that, and they had the Chinese movies down on 42nd Street. We go down there on Saturdays to the matinee and watch 100, you know, Chinese joints like Jet Li jumping off of buildings and doing all kinds of joints and whooping ass. You know what I mean? You know, that was the era. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we loved it, man. You know what I mean? We loved it. That was our youth coming up. But then when crack hit and people was poor, you know what I mean? And it was right there in our face, everybody got in it. You know what I mean? I know you can't blame a man for eating. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, the joint just exploded, man. Exploded. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Exploded. But during that time, we still had the DJs out there. You know what I mean? We still had the DJ. We had Hollywood back then, Star Child, Starsky. You understand what I'm saying? We could, you know, take it back. Those were the first DJs that was jumping back then. You know what I mean? And then came in Brucey B. You know what I mean? Big shout out to the homie Brucey B, 49th Street stand up. You know what I mean?
Big J the bodyguard. We can't forget Big J the bodyguard.
You know what I mean? And that's where the double J's and all of them came from. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's where it's at. You know? So, you know, we just doing what we do, man. So I'm gonna bring Double J up. I'm bring one of the DJs up to talk about it. You know what I mean? And you know, see what he got to say. You know. Salute. Introduce yourself.
Up? Salute, man. Salute the boy Djkayslay, man, for real. Cause like you said, I started up under Star Child and the Brucey B's and, you know, Starsky and all of them. And the mixtape era, I kind of learned from them because they was making tapes live in the club, like the SNS, the Fever, 371. So them tapes was going for like $100 a pop. Because the specialty about those tapes was the Hustlers was in the club. The DJs, shout out the Hustlers. The Hustlers throw you $100 for that tape right off the top because they was the only one with that tape. This is before stores.
All right. Talk to
So when it came down, you know, to getting into stores is where all us other DJs got a light to shine on, because me, myself, I started in like 77. I first seen a pair of turntables in 77. My uncle was a Marine. He was overseas and they was doing that. Like the technology was ahead already. So my uncle had the computer, the 2 turntables. I used to look at that like, what is he doing with 2 record players? Like, what are he doing with that? Because I wasn't old enough to be around Kool Herc and them outside yet. You know, I still had to be in before the street lights came on. If you remember that rule, everybody had that rule when we was young. So, you know, once I got a full peep at it, it was through my brother. God bless my brother Bernie. My brother was into it already, and they was doing that Now the Cold Crush was happening and all them battle tapes and everything.
The Crash Crew.
Cass, and I'm right. Shout out to Cass. I was with him the other night for his birthday. You know, so even with me in this game over 30 years, I seen that go from just us, like you said, to the world peeping at it. And you know, we did it for the love, the recognition. I DJ'd, so I had my hood in the smash. I had the love in my hood. You know, it might have been 4 or 5 other DJs in the area, because when I first started coming outside, I was in the Bronx, River Park Towers. It was 77, 78, 79. I was around the corner from Cedar Park, so I saw Cedar Park. I saw Cool Herc in them. You know, and again, I was too young to get close. But the music drew me in so much, I started doing it myself in my house. My brother got into the hustle game deeper. The equipment was in the house. And that's the type of growth I come from. The 45s, the albums, the SB1 techniques, you know, the S-arm joints and straight arm techniques and Bozak mixes with knobs and no faders. So when the mix game came out, it was cool to already be known for being in the parks, again, for the love. You know, I came up from 40th, so we used to do 40th Street and Lennox Ave Park. Me, Big L, Herb McGruff, Mace, all of us would be out there before we had names. You know, the fellas used to battle, and the battle wasn't about money. The battle was, if you get signed, you come get me. It wasn't about money. We all had names. Cam, everybody had a name. You know, me and my man, shout out to my man Kev Nice. And again, the Hustlers was around that, because what threw me into throwing parties was a shout out to my man Big Johnny Fresh. Back then, Johnny Fresh name was King Johnny Fresh. And, you know, and Fresh used to be like, yo, Double, we got to take it out these parks. So we started renting the YMCA. That was 88. We started renting the YMCA, throwing parties in the YMCA right there on 135th. I met Kay back then because we had the money to hire the big heads to make me look like a big head. You know, I do parties with Star Child, who also became my mentor, and I worked with him for 15 years, his last 15 years in the game.
Yeah, because you worked at the Mecca.
You know, you're a witness to that.
Yeah, you worked at the Mecca with him. You know what I mean? Y'all was
right. You know what I'm saying? Unique came to Willie's 25th. We all met. That was the beginning of us. The Mecca, everything else. You know, and like you said, you had to already be somebody for somebody to look at you. You had to be doing something.
Yeah.
You either had to be on the street side or you had to be doing something with that music, because that's 2 things Harlem love besides the ball player. Music, the hustler, and the street baller.
So tell them about the Rucker Park. Tell them about the Rucker Park. How the Rucker Park set up?
The real Rucker.
The real.
Oh man, back then you if you ain't get there early enough, you was watching the game from the bridge. If you ain't get to that park early enough, you know, and like everybody came through there. The rooftop was across the street. It go back to Julius Irvin and them balling out there at the Rucker. So the Rucker history is like Britannica, man. It goes on for days. The parties, they all go together. Like, you know, Unique coming back, everything's still going. I'm still in the party scene. You know, like I said, K-Slay, everybody was hanging on to what was going to happen with the brother because he meant so much to the game.
To the culture.
You know, he was still working with my man Herb McGruff. He was still working with Stan Spit, Lennox Ave Spit. Dudes from my block, from 40th. That's how much, you know what I'm saying? He ain't forget the hood. No matter where he went with it, he never forgot the hood. So shout out to K-Slay, man. Like we said, he lived forever.
You know what I think with him was? He grew up in a culture of hip hop that's what it was about. Remember back in the days when hip hop was changing? That's why it fucks me up when niggas say the rappers want to be like the hustlers. And I'm sitting there going, and I never heard that. We all ran together. Like, because everybody didn't break dance. So we had a crew, right? I may have wrote graffiti. you might have been robbing niggas, you might have been hustling, and he might have been a cool nigga that was down with us that can rap. You know what I'm saying? Or the dancing nigga. So the dancing nigga, we always got the dancing guy because we know we go to the house party, he gonna turn it up, and we gonna be in there getting saucy. We have a good time.
But see, that's what I'm saying. You're 100% right. But let's touch on what Double J said. We did it for the love of the people. When we threw a party. You know, when it's your birthday, we grew up during the era when it's your birthday, your mother threw the party. So when it's your birthday, you don't expect someone to throw it for you. You know what I mean? Right. So, you know, we went and we threw our own parties. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like when we threw parties, we did it for the love of the game. Like when I opened up Club 2000, I didn't open it up to make money. You understand what I'm saying? I just opened it up because I had money. Let's get that
right. It's a difference. It's a difference.
No, I had money, so I could get what I wanted. So I wanted to get some place that I could put Double Djkayslay, Ron G, Brucey B. You know what I mean? SNS.
So see,
Love Ball.
The hustler was the platform for a lot of us. He opened the door for a lot of us because he had the money.
He had the money.
Yeah,
he had the money.
Because that's what really stamped hip hop. Sorry for cutting you off. What made hip hop parties official was when I was a kid was the hustlers would come and stand by the DJs, and we see all these big time niggas with mink coats on or pulling out the Lincoln Continentals and the Rolls Royces, and they posted up by the DJ. So we was like, yo, this shit is real. You know what I'm saying? The OGs was solidifying hip hop. Like it took niggas like Unique and them niggas that was solidifying us because, like you said, they wasn't looking at this thing as this can go to Def Jam, Universal Records. We're just doing this for the people. Remember, you guys come from Sugar Hill. Y'all come from the last true story of Harlem, bro. The jazz players, when people came to New York or from all over the world from jazz, they came to Harlem to get on, bro. They ain't come to East Harlem. They was going to Harlem. The last famous jazz spots was uptown where y'all niggas is, where you dudes is from. So dudes gotta understand that the hustlers is what kept life going. And as hip hop began to transform, it was the hustlers that co-signed the game. Like you said, when you shout out Unique on the mixtape, that mixtape wouldn't go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because you know Unique.
Big shout out to Steven. Thank homie.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it, yo. But like he said, man, that's what I just want y'all to understand. It's a different time now. People throw parties. They thinking about making money, which is nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? That's how they surviving. But I'm just saying, you gotta love the people too, man. You gotta love the people and respect the people. You know what I mean? And then they'll love the party with you because you tell them, come party with me, come party in my environment. Come party off of my light. You know what I mean? Come shine with me. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, you got to want to do it from your heart. You know what I mean? Because everybody that came in Club 2000 was my friend. You understand what I'm saying? Because I mingled with everyone.
Big difference.
You know what I mean? And, you know, that's what that was about. I brought everybody together. So the ones I didn't know, I met, and, you know, some I didn't get a chance to personally meet, but they know who I am, and, I know who they are. You know,
just for what you said, that's the difference. You knew 1,800 of them 2,000 people.
You know what I mean?
It took, you could say Mecca Audio by yourself and fill a club. Today it take this promoter, that promoter, that promoter, this DJ, that DJ, and this DJ, because the love is this small now.
Yeah.
And they out for the money. They out for the money. I'm still a headliner because I come from that era and I built the love. I tell people all the time, it's not about the check or the paper that I get. It's about the person that comes back to me after that party and goes, yo, Jay, I'll never forget this party in my life. You know, yo, Jay, that music you played just moved my soul or something like that tonight. Or you took me somewhere else. That's the check. So I'm always get them checks because the paper coming from the hustling side of the game and the music side, you know, Unique, the paper always been there. I never had a paper problem.
Yeah.
I never had a paper problem.
I already know, bro. Yo, you know what's crazy? Is I remember going to block parties 1980. And you guys, like Double J, when y'all were DJing in the parks, like you said, nobody was paying to get in. Y'all was doing it for the love of the people. But the music that y'all played was geared towards a newer generation. Them break beats had us losing our mind. When y'all played Heartbeat, we wasn't even spinning yet. We used to started pop locking and we was B-boys wearing Pumas and Lees and we was sharp with nice BBDs or the Tiga shirts on. We was iron and you guys that saw just DJing and playing like Donna Summers and some disco. Those was hip hop parties. But nobody got shoot out, nobody got stabbed, and people were going home in peace. Who would have thought that you guys plugging into light poles? Am I right?
Yeah. Used to get the electricity from the light pole. That was a block jam.
You're DJing for the love of the culture, not getting no money. Nobody's paying to get into the park. Who would have thought that right now you got some DJs getting 10, 20,000 a DJ off of hip hop because of you guys? Yeah, you guys took the sacrifice of plugging that illegal light in the light pole. Going, let's get the fans. You about to get crazy today.
And bring the big ass blockbuster speakers out there, you know. Hold up, we got big.
It used to soothe the hood.
Yeah. Let me.
It used to soothe the hood.
Yeah. What's up, D?
Shout out to East Harlem, man. Big D, what up, man?
Introduce yourself, family.
Hello, man. This is Big D, man, from Ultramagnetic 132 and 75 with Gangsta Lou and Pretty Tone, man, as well as Unique, man. Like Harlem took a real heavy loss, man. A real heavy loss, man. It'll never be another real one like K-Slay, man. Like he was one of the truest DJs in the game, man. And man, he was for the people, for all of the real underground hip hop artists, man. Like that was a heavy blow.
And you know, rest in peace. You know, K-Slay.
There's nobody that's gonna make sure the underground shine like he did. You know what I mean? Like he was a real dude, man. He's a real dude and a good friend, man.
And that's real. That's yo, I salute that, bro, because growing up and down in the lower part of the east side, he inspired us through the graffiti. And then when he started DJing with Dollar Bill, you know, Club 105.
Yeah,
you know, the small shit was doing with Club 105, and then you know, Club Marinas, and then you know, and then he just took off after that, and that was inspiring because I was like, oh shit, because a lot of his friends, they got caught up in the era. Some of them got, you know, some of them died, some of them caught some habits, some caught wild years in jail. So it was like, when he came home the last time, I'm not gonna lie to you, he came home focused, bro. And he came home so focused that he ain't go back. And by like 2000, he was getting to the back. Hot 97. He in these rap videos, he got albums coming out, getting record deals, and he's opened up more doors because that's what hip hop did, Big D. It opened up doors, bro. When I used to sit down and listen to Ultramagnetic or Kiss FM, bro, and hear Kool Keep was my favorite rap artist other than MC Shan, bro. That song Funky was a classic, bro. You hear me? That shit with that piano shit had niggas like this in the projects. Like, yo, Ultramagnetic, Jungle Brothers, all that shit was that was our sound. That's what we went to school with. We didn't go to school talking about Hall and Notes and Mick Jagger and the rest of them. We was talking about what we heard on a Friday or a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, even y'all paved the way for a $1 trillion industry that nobody seems to want to recognize. You know what I'm saying? You guys, all three of y'all. Club 2000, you can't front, bro. That's the only club we ever heard every day promoted on Kiss FM, a commercial station. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Mecca Audio, boom, 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 Club 2000. I thought this shit was a car place. I'm like, yo, what this Mecca Audio shit is back in the days? He was doing this thing, man. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, brother.
Nah, it's like I remember Kayslay being up in Club 105. Me and Law Finesse back in the days. You know what I mean? I remember those days, man. You understand? And since I known him, he's been nothing but a stand-up dude. We used to bump heads over by Rockin' Wills on 125th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always, man. And we used to hold conversations and talk. Like, he used to always make me laugh. I remember he used to get out the car and he used to come out with the whole box of CDs, like the bill collectors here. I'll be dying. Like,
he found his lane with that mixtape. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, yo, bro. He found his way with that mixtape shit. Cause the only other nigga that was doing it like him was Action Pack with that Get Money Nation shit. You know what I'm saying? A couple other dudes was doing it. They had them pipelines. But K built his own pipeline with that shit. With that street sweeper shit, he found his own lane, bro. And when he found his lane, I remember my cousin going to his crib, booking him for parties, man. The unique thing about Kayslay was he was an old school nigga when he DJ'd a party. And that's what I loved about him. That nigga just play records. He ain't doing all his tricks. He's not gonna do a backflip. He's not doing none of that funny money shit. Kayslay is just, I'm hip hop. I'm out.
He was,
and that's what I respected about the nigga, huh?
He didn't kiss ass. He was him, man.
He was him, man.
He stayed original.
He was original, man. Now I want to ask you a question. Now that you're here, because I always want to ask you this, man. What was it like being a part of Ultramagnetic when y'all had the biggest buzz in New York, bro? You hear me? Remember, y'all was the hottest rap group in New York at one point in time, bro. You hear me?
Well, it was, man, you know, it was definitely an honor. My cousin Kool Keith brought me in, you know, because, like I said, I'm from Harlem. I ran up on the Unique Tone. I broke Gangsta Lou. So he basically brought me in to get me out of the streets, you know what I mean? And it was a blessing, man, you know. It was definitely a blessing, man. You know, I traveled the world, seen a lot of good things, made history.
You made history. That first album, I remember the first album because I had it.
Critical.
Yes, yo, bro. And that was like that winner was a money winner in the streets. That winner, we ain't gonna talk about the era it was, how much money was in the street. But that, like, when you play Kool Keith, anything Ease Back, Funky, many other tracks, yo, that album right there was just like, that was big. You know what I'm saying? That album, I think, you know, that album basically opened the door. Because from my understanding, you guys sort of inspired KRS-One with his in Scotland Rock with the Criminal Minded shit. You know what I'm saying? Because
my partner said G produced
produced
South
a lot of
Bronx
joints on that. Yeah. That's what I heard. I seen some credits. I was like, yo, back in the day, like, yo, who put this together? They was like, said G from Ultramagnetic. I'm like, what? That's how important you guys were to the culture. So me sitting here right now, I salute you, bro, and I congratulate you, brothers. Dead ass, bro. Because when dudes was uninspired in the projects, you guys like Kayslay, like Dez with the graffiti, with the D, you know what I'm saying? See, in my generation, it was the graffiti with it. Yeah, to the newer generation, it's the DJ. Remember, I know him for graffiti. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys from the hip hop. I know Unique Mecca Audio from the club and radio promotions and him being who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you probably see me in Club 2000 up under Unique when I was skinny.
Unique was Unique was I go front, man. And listen, and they might think, they doing too much Unique, but you Sugar Hill niggas, those Sugar Hill niggas was a different type of individuals because Sugar Hill had a different history.
Mm-hmm.
See, East Harlem was we was in East Harlem, but we had the Italians and we had the Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? Where I was at, definitely, I was in San Juan. Then you
I
had
see. Well, you just intro my next guest. We got 10 toes down. That's Sugar Hill's finest right there. You know what I mean?
From
So
uptown.
we reminiscing, man. You know what I mean? For K-Slay about how he made us feel with the music and how he drove the era. With Brucey B, Ron G, SNS, Kid Capri. You know what I mean? Doo-wop. You know what I mean? We going all day. Buck Wild. You know what I mean? Come on, man. We go all the way back. Big shout out to Rock and Will. You know what I mean? Mixtape. How do you feel about that, though? What do you have to say as far as about K-Slay's passing and just about the era? Because this ain't to make it all sad. It's just to give a little history, reminisce, and make this, something, what they call educational. All right?
Yeah, definitely, man. Peace to the chat. Yo, yeah, K-Slay contributed a lot to the culture, and a lot of people followed in his footsteps. Even in the joint, even while being in prison, the Drama King, when he came on, everybody was up and ready to listen to the Drama King. You heard them doors slammed and all that. The Drama King is in the building. You was ready. You was hyped. Like, yeah, Slay's in the building.
All right, the door is slamming.
Yeah. So I go back. I go all the way back. I go back. My favorite spot from back in the days was the rooftop. I was a rooftop kid every day, all day in the rooftop. That was my shit. And key, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, definitely, man. He took a part of hip hop with him because a lot of people ain't gonna be able to experience, you know what I'm saying, the way he brought the culture to a different level as far as he had rappers come together. You see this new joint the new joints that he was putting out. And the crazy part is 2 days ago, I was just in the studio and I had some rappers laying some shit down, and I just was telling them, like, yo, listen, because K-Slay gave me a beat, and he was like, yo, listen, I want you to do something with it with Sheik Luch. And I just was in the studio 2 days ago with the brothers laying it down. They all finished their verse, everybody laid it down, and then this right here happened. I'm like, damn, man. And I'm telling them, like, yo, listen, when K come out, you know what I'm saying, that we're going to get the video together. But, it's unfortunate that this had to happen. But at the same time, I'm sure that K don't want no motherfucking body sobbing and talking all sad.
Exactly. That's the Drama King. That's the Drama King.
Yeah, and the best part about it is this, man, that we all come from, we come from poverty. We come from nothing. So to make it and to become somebody, he has made it because his name is going to live on. He's going to be K-Slay forever. He ain't going to be that kid from back in the days, just writing on trains. He's not going to be remembered for that. He's going to have a legacy that he left behind. Opposed to a lot of brothers and sisters out there today, right, who dying and leaving this earth at a young age, leaving behind nothing, leaving not a legacy, leaving, the song Papa was a Rolling Stone. Every lady's having, and when he died, he left us was alone. That's all they father leaving them was alone. In this, and I just want to say to people in the chat, people out there, period, man, that we got to prepare for that. Like that's why I really don't get too sad at death because we all got to reach that. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get prepared for that. And I believe that Slay was prepared. He had everything in order. He got his money in order. He got his health insurance in order. His family's going to be able to prosper off everything that he left behind. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to get prepared for, us as the people. And that's why I try to make it imperative that we as Black brothers and sisters, we come together. We come together on forums like this, not just for death. We gotta, after this, we gotta exchange numbers. We gotta keep that contact. We gotta keep coming together and keep building after this right here, man. It doesn't stop right here, man. This is just the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Right. As far as with, because I never been on the platform with that brother there, the other brother. I never been. I know Unique, but we never been on the platform. We just build in, and then from here we start getting other brothers. We start building from here, man.
And that's what it is. Like I said, man. We on a positive movement, man. Y'all ain't see me bad mouth or bad mash or talk negative about anybody. You understand what I'm saying? I don't do that on my channel. I don't chase views. You know what I mean? If the youngins watching, they want to learn something, they come over here and they learn something. You know what I mean? And I take the one that's learning something over the 100,000 that ain't learning nothing, that's just looking for something to gossip about. You understand what I'm saying? Because those are the ones that's lost. They just ain't realized it yet. You know what I mean? Just like when, you know, I was out there selling drugs. You know what I mean? I was lost. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I think I'm doing good from where my mentality is at. So they think they doing good now from where their mentality is at. You know what I mean? So until they ready to come out of that state, you know what I mean? All we could do is allow them. That mean allow them to be themselves. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts. You know what's crazy, Unique? When this had to been like 85, right? And I began to see a transition in my hood when it came to how the drugs is playing out. Because before then, Angel Dust, he said that water game, stay away from the water. That was the curse of the East Side. That Angel Dust shit, people go crazy. So nobody wanted to fuck with the PCP because that was like the major shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like 85, 86, when the Mets won the World Series that year,
yeah,
the game began to change. You seen a lot of good dudes that was getting stuck 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, what's this? But you know, you young, you ain't paying no mind to this shit that you still thinking about what you see, like the dope era, the Angel Dust. You don't know that this new shit is actually taking over, bro. And I ain't gonna front, bro. When that shit first hit, that shit fucked a lot of dudes up. I mean, you had a lot of dudes that was in position to get money. Because you gotta keep in mind, again, when it comes to people like K-Slay and them, they was going to art galleries selling their graffiti pieces to rich white people that paid $100 for their shit. That's probably selling his shit tonight that he died for $150,000. Because remember, he became an influence in hip hop. There's people that bought the TAT crew shit at these art galleries that caught them when they was at their weakest point. Some of them niggas like, yo, here, come to the art gallery, get coked up, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Before Def Jam Records, you know what I'm saying? Before there was a Def Jam, before there was a record label, niggas was getting J-jerk, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because they had that one thing, the drug addiction. Here, take this cocaine. We give you a bunch of dope. We give you what you need to get over for you, because people wasn't eating consciously. You know what I'm saying? So when I began to see that the game changed, bro, it's me and my friends, you was like, yo, son, we can't be like them other niggas, bro. We just can't be like them. But we wind up being like them, not with the drugs, but going to jail. Like, yo, we can't be like them. But we began to commit crimes, but we want to be like K-Slay. We seen him on Wild Style and all that shit. Like, yo, we could be on TV. Remember, they was doing this out of love. They wasn't doing it to get a check. It just happened to come their way because of some liberals that worked for the Village Voice and other downtown entities. You know what I'm saying? That's what took a leg in the hip hop. The people that took a leg in the hip hop wasn't who y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Media wise, the only person. And I hate the fact that nobody talks about this. Even Tenzo Down, we got to talk about this, 10 Tones. The first man to play hip-hop, the first official hip-hop radio station, it wasn't that it was Mr. Magic. It was Mr. Sutton, the man who owned WBLS, an African-American, bro. Mr. Sutton allowed the first commercial hip-hop radio show, bro. You hear me? He the one that put that together. All right, it's a goal. Let's do it. Let's take it from the Fever. Let's bring that shit in the Fever. Basically, he brought the Fever to WBLS when they had the Mr. Magic Rap Attack. Am I lying?
Nah, you're right. You're right. What was that?
Fever,
Mr. Magic Rap Attack.
Rap Attack.
You know what I mean? And then Marley Marl, you know, do everybody
on the
come on.
station, a black man. A black man owned it. Who owned WHBI? The same black man. So we did control our culture. The white man ain't always control our shit. We controlled our shit. We just didn't have the record labels. That's what we didn't have. Have we had one, fuck Sugar Hill Records? Have we had some shit like Universal or Epic Records that was, who knows where we would be at, bro? You hear me?
It wasn't none of those back then. It wasn't none of those back then.
There was none of that. So Russell was all we had.
All right, so let's go back 10 Toes. Tell me if you remember this, because you might be young, so I'm gonna hit you with this like this is a trivia for you. You know what I mean? Because I know they remember it. You remember when in '93 when I got locked up, they had not one hip hop station. I mean, hip hop record label in New York, like hardcore gangster rap record label. They had not one in New York when I got locked up.
A hip hop.
Because they had. Go ahead, 10 Toes.
Go ahead. Nah, I don't remember no other hip hop joint. I already was locked up when you started doing that joint. You know what I'm saying? And so I already was on you, hip to you, and seen you before fucking Mecca Audio Club 2000. I was already on you before that, nigga. I was on him with the 300, with the MPV and all that before all that shit. I mean, first.
No, hold on. Happy you said that. Hold on. See, I'm happy you said that. So you come from the original era of when things began to change. See, I'm 48. I'm pretty sure you're older than me, bro. You was outside when it went from JoJo Dancer to red tops, blue tops. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
Exactly.
Yeah. I found my first pack of fucking red top. I found a bag of red top. And that's how
what's that shit like?
Get out of here. You found a bag of red top?
I found somebody's stash. It was a dude in my building, dude Marco. I found his stash and I know what it was. I was like, the fuck is this? I went to my sister brother. He was like, yo, that's crack. We went down by a Rich Porter spot on 45th, and I was out there hustling. And then Malcolm came out, they chased us away, and she was like, yo, some little nigga out there hustling. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was selling crack, right? The crackheads was coming, and they was doing the spot. They would come with the same color bottles with the soap and be like, yo, let me look at it. And they were switching on me, putting the soap in my hand. I ain't know. I'm selling it, and they like, yo, some little nigga out there selling soap. I'm like, nigga, I ain't got no soap, this crack. But the crackheads was getting me. They was hitting me. Word. And that's what got me into the game, man. But yeah, bro, that's all. Unique Mecca Audio. Nah, I know that you was one of the originators, one of the first that was bringing it there, all up in the joint. They was telling me, yeah. Every time, listen, when it came to Unique, right? And it came to when you know, in prison, you have like them borough arguments, like dudes in Queens battling Brooklyn and Harlem, whatever. And they be like, yo, yeah, y'all Harlem niggas was getting money, but y'all wasn't getting money like so-and-so from Queens. Yo, y'all wasn't getting money. And I used to always bring up Unique, and not too many people knew who he was. And I was like, yo, no, Unique. They was like, nah, what the fuck is that? That nigga wasn't getting money like Rich Porter and Alpo and them niggas. It's not what? Man, y'all niggas one, man. You don't know who Unique is. Word up, man. And it wasn't until when you came out in the magazine and all that, it was like, yo, that's the dude you was talking about, the dude Unique. I was like, yeah, nigga from the hill, nigga, some Sugar Hill shit. Fuck are you talking about? Yeah,
I've been
the whole, you know what I'm saying? The whole thing is, the beauty of it all is this. He came from one place, and then look at him now. He was like really a threat and a danger to our community, right? When you really look at it, all of us, right? A danger to our community. Hey, look what we're doing now as far as trying to rebuild it and bring it back. And I bet all of those people, if the walls could talk, all them buildings could talk now, they have a story to say about all of us. Like, yo,
type of crazy sucker shit.
At 27, we'd say he be dead at this age, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Unique ain't even supposed to be here. He's supposed to still be in jail for the rest of his motherfucking life. And he made it out. And the spirit spoke. You know what I'm saying? And you can only give back because the ancestors have spoken, and you here today, and we all here today, and we able to give back and contribute. And we're gonna get resistance, we're gonna get the negative, and we gotta learn to accept that. You know why? Because we was the resistance back then when people was trying to tell us to stop doing what we was doing. So we gotta accept that and expect that at the same time.
But positive always come negative.
Definitely, B.
Definitely, bro. You know, I watched Unique transition to him becoming free again because we was on Facebook. So I'm watching. Yo, the nigga ain't on front for a motherfucker in the feds with the rest of his life in jail. Yo, you know Big D and 10 Toes Down. The nigga was posted like he was going home tomorrow. So I'm like,
let me tell you, I talked to Big Bro damn near. I talked to Big Bro every day, damn near every day on the phone.
Every day. So one day he posted some shit, and I'm like, was this nigga free? You know what I'm saying? Because he said some shit, and I'm going over here. So I'm like, yo, he got out that shit? And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. That shit made me cry a little bit, bro. Like, that nigga had the rest of his life. The nigga was as long we was on Facebook for like 10 years, bro. That nigga never showed a sign of weakness. Like he act like he was in the street. He had niggas shoot a rap video and all type of shit. Yo, we got the rap video. We got this going on. We got that.
Yo, he called me. He called me from the pen, and he told me. He said, "Yo, little bro, I need you to get everybody together. I'm coming home soon." So I went and got Ron G. You know what I mean? I put Ron on the phone with him. Ron did the beat. I went and got everybody to rap on the record, and we made it happen up in the Polo Grounds.
Yo, son, that was real. That and that's why I'm happy that we're here, because we could do this more often.
And I couldn't tell nobody he was coming home because he was like, "Yo, don't let nobody know." So I knew he was coming home, but I kept it quiet.
That's because, I knew everybody counted me out. You already know what it is. 10 toes, you know what that's like when they count us out after 2 decades.
Yo, son, you beat the odds, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Just growing up under you. Remember, you're older than me. Growing up under y'all and to see that y'all niggas is still sane, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm in a good place. Like he said, we do got a good message to tell. Like, yo, we was young. And when you grow up poor, you make poor decisions. But as we got older, we began to make wiser decisions. Who would have thought that a generation above us would have created something that we can make money off of to talk about hip hop? Who would have thought what Melly Mel, Crash, Crew, and the rest of these niggas, and Disco Danny, and Star Child, and the rest of these other niggas was doing, when it gave us an opportunity to speak about this culture that we come from? Because I believe it or not, when I was younger, we thought we was hip hop. There wasn't a who the best rapper. The best rapper was on my block. We didn't care about LL Cool J. We cared about the nigga who could rap on the block. You know what I'm saying? Like and then the radio started popping, and that was like, yo, this shit is serious now. Maybe I need to learn how to
hold on. Hey, yo, Spit, hit the link in the comments and come in. That's Stan Spit. You know what I mean? We just did a record together. Me, him, Gruff, Davies. You know what I mean? Charlie. You know what I mean? We did a joint together, man. Spit, hit the link in the thing and come in. But where I'm at is, what do y'all think about the subway shooter and what's going on? And is the train safe to you?
There's always a Ricky Ricardo, bro. There's always, you know what? There's always a Ricky Ricardo. We get them every 20 years. We always get the one that, like the Colin Ferguson guy. What is Ferguson nigga that shot the train up in Long Island? We get them. But the weird part about his actions is, wherever he was going through, see what happens is mental health is serious in New York, right? And we see that every day when we walk the streets. But African Americans, for some reason, we don't get the help that we need or the service. Police will ride by somebody who's in the middle of the street talking to themselves until they do something stupid. Obviously, he had mental health issues, and nobody must have cared until he finally flipped out. Yo, you just don't wake up in the morning and go, I'm gonna put a mask on and shoot some shit up and throw a gas bomb in it. You know what I'm saying? So now what happens now is, why is it when it comes to our culture, you have to, I see in St. Louis, bro. Here in St. Louis, I see a bunch of crazies walking around talking to themselves with guns. They got guns on them. Never seen it going, y'all don't fuck with them until they shoot somebody's head off. Then they go, oh, we got mental health issues. So why the fuck don't y'all solve the mental health issues but y'all wait till they commit a crime? So it's crazy, bro. Just the other day, somebody shot somebody's head off, and they said the guy who did it got mental health issues. Yo, he was crazy. He was off his meds, and he shot guy. He shot homeboy in the subway station.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm sure he showed plenty of signs of all that.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They show signs, bro.
And nobody just paid attention to it.
What you think about the subway?
Crazy, bro.
I think that they pay attention to it, right? But they just don't care. So even with like the prison system, right? In prison, the mental health, you really don't get the help that you need within the prison system. So you got a lot of people that's mental, that let's say the first time he does something crazy, nothing real violent, but just something stupid. He go to prison. All they're going to do is medicate him up. That's the answer to everything. There's no psychiatric help. There's no sitting down, no try to figure out. They just say he suffers from schizophrenia and he hears voices. The medication, it just slows him down. But when he get out, he doesn't have any type of outlets that's going to help him when he get out. And then next thing you know, he stopped taking his meds. So no one is really watching him and seeing what he's doing. So before you know it, he's starting to hear voices again. And now these voices is telling him to kill people. And now you got a man who's out there pushing people in front of the train, shooting people and going all kind of crazy. And you're like, damn, what the hell happened? This is what happened. You let him go up out of prison when he wasn't supposed to be in prison in the first place. He's supposed to be in a psychiatric ward and getting some type of mental health, psychiatric, from a psychologist and a psychiatrist. And they were supposed to have been challenging him and helping him rather than medicating him up and seeing what the real issues was with him. So now, today, we got a man on the subway shooting people, in which I believe that he was military. I'm not sure, but that's what I believe. And I think that his moves were strategic. He has mental health issues, and he's going to ride with that. But I think that his actions were strategic. He knew what he was doing. And when it comes to people that's really crazy, psychotic or something, they see everyday killing or violence as normal. Like you getting up, putting your pants on, brushing your teeth. That's normal for you. But for them, violence and doing crazy shit like that is normal to them. They don't see nothing wrong with it. And they need the help. And hopefully this will send a big message out to society that you can be the next victim. You can be the next one, because it has set an alarm, not only for the people that was on the train, but to society, period. And the same thing in which we were doing, we were mental at one time. We suffered from the peer pressures in our communities and stuff like that. You got to be mental. We was desensitized. We dehumanized people. We had to be mentally ill in order to do the things we did, in order to put drugs in people's hands and seeing the effect that it had and how it made people rob and steal, how we were able to pick up guns and kill people. That's a mental illness. That's a sickness in order to be able to do that. And we was desensitized and we dehumanized, and that's what our problems were. And the help, it is possible. We can get the help, because you can see it in me, you can see it in Unique, you can see it in all the other brothers who, on a different scale of mental illness, that we got the help. These brothers here, they on another level of mental illness. They can get the help. It's just that we gotta keep track of them on their medication, making sure that we have social workers and everybody on point.
Oh, you knocked him off. That was a good build he was having.
Yeah, but definitely, man. Like, but I look at it like we all mental. Unique has had mental health issues. I did. All of us. If anybody's able to hurt somebody,
bottom line, family, you done been the time. All of us done did time. You already know that once they put you in there, it's like, survival mode. You don't know what to expect, but whatever it is, you know that now this is everything that everybody that grew up in your neighborhood, your culture, your environment, your household, this is what everybody taught you. And you tap into it as different circumstances come from every step that we take, walking deeper and deeper into the bliss, into the prison. You know what I mean? Some people just keep walking with blinders on, and those are the ones that wind up catching a new charge and never getting out because they don't kill somebody over a cup of soup. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we got that all day, and they'll tell you that they did it because it was the principle of the thing. How many times we heard that word? The principle of the thing. You do something stupid and you blame it on principles. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, you stabbed the dude over a cup of soups now. You never going home. He dead. And you telling me it was the principle of the thing, and you're comfortable going to bed with that at night for the rest of your life when you came in with 3 years. I met brothers like that.
I seen that a lot in there.
You know? So, I mean, you tell me.
I seen the dude turn a 5-year bid into 25.
Yep. So, just trying to keep it where it's at, man. Well, how about the Will Smith joint? What y'all think about that? We got to get a little comment on that. About Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. Let's get each person's opinion.
You know what? A lot of people, I look at it like, this is just me. Just what I think. I think that there's a time and place for everything. I think there's sometimes some people have a bad day, a bad month. You know what I'm saying? Like, just things may not be going the way they want to go in life. And then you go to an award show and you put so much money into this Oscar award. Not the Oscar, but the movie. That movie was a great movie. And I know that, Chris Rock is a comedian and he's going to make jokes and he's going to do what he do, because it's what he do. But tonight was a night where I think, maybe Will Smith just was like, tonight's not the night to clown me. Me and my wife is not going to be the butt of your jokes. You know what I'm saying? That movie he made, have you ever seen King Richard? It's an emotional movie, bro. When you really watch that shit had me, that shit, I ain't gonna front, that shit made me look at gang culture totally different. When he's going out with the young gangbang nigga, and the young gangbang nigga was somebody's daughter, and this, that, and the third, me and my homies, and this, that, and the third, and what he had to go through for his daughters for that tennis shit. So it's like, how you got time to clown my wife when I'm a black man? And you are a comedian and say the jokes that you say, but you are like big me up, bro. This movie was a movie that was a wake-up call, because that was our era. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, son, like, a nigga really told a grown man that me and my man's gonna want to train on your daughter, and he went through that. Like, the movie made a lot of sense. A father who fought for his daughters to become who they are in the world. So I think Will was a little emotional in his wife's situation, and he probably was just like, you know what, Chris Rock, I'm tired of you niggas playing with me. So tonight's gonna be the night I'm gonna clown one of you niggas. And he risked it all. He was willing to risk it all. And that's just what I think. I just think that he just said, fuck you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to say fuck me, fuck you.
All right, so let me ask you this.
At the point where I think he's just like, I got my money, I got my interests, I got my investments, and I know I'm gonna get blackballed for this shit. But fuck you, nigga.
Let me ask you this.
Stop playing
Let me ask you this, because I want to hear Big B and 10 Toes' opinion on the same topic. But let me ask you this, though. I'm gonna go a little further. Do you think he was wrong or right? And why? Or why not?
I think he was right, though.
Why?
You know why I think he was right? Because at a certain point, us as African Americans, man, like just like 10 Toes Down said, we don't big each other up. Like, we don't go, yo, 10 Toes, that was a great thing you did. You know what I'm saying? That shit was dope, bro. We always look for some shit to clown a nigga on before he achieved a success. Like, yo, son, that was some sucker shit you did 8 years ago. And I just think that, Will Smith come from us, bro. Remember, Will Smith is not a kid from the suburbs. He's a nigga from the ghetto like us. You know what I'm saying? That was his one moment, bro. That was his one moment. That movie that he put together, bro, was real, bro. That King.
Let me say this, though.
I think that was, to me in my heart. I co-signed Will Smith. It may sound crazy, but I actually co-signed him.
All right, but let's say this, though. Here go a man that's getting $40 million. You understand what I'm saying? A movie. You understand what I'm saying? He's in elite, space right now. You understand? He's not down there with none of us or none of our parents. Let's keep it 100. You understand what I'm saying? He ain't nowhere near there. So he's up here. So that means we all looking up to him, including me, because and y'all, to my opinion, my guesstimation would be that y'all looking the same way, like this brother made it. Will Smith made it. Queen Latifah made it. These are people that you look at and say they made it. You got to give props where it's due. You understand what I'm saying? They made it. But when they get up there, how would it look, Queen Latifah fighting Kim Kardashian on stage? Oh, that's ghetto, my nigga.
But you know what,
I'm saying? Will Smith ain't had no business doing nothing like that from where he stood in life. He done jumped over all of us to make it up here to the stratosphere. You know what I mean? You got to handle that, my nigga. Don't let him bring you down here. And you saw he was laughing when he told the joke. And then
you know what's ill? You know what's ill? And I like what you said, Unique. But you know what? You know what happens, bro? A lot of us. He reminded me of how we are with our sisters, bro. You know how we be in the streets and somebody slap one of our sisters and we'll just walk by like that. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? We got to do with that shit. Or lose shit that happened in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Lose shit like you know what I'm saying? Like it just makes you think no matter how rich you are, bro. No matter how much money you got, your household. Like, that's how I took that. Like my daughter's in college. If her boyfriend punched her in the mouth,
man, listen, the man got a $40 million home, bro, man. Yo, listen.
What I believe is
she was wrong.
What I believe is
because she's about to become a doctor or a lawyer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he reminded them we have to protect our sisters at all costs, bro. Even if I gotta lose $100 million, I'm gonna show you niggas. Let's stop losing, bro. You know what I'm saying? I go through it every day on my job. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
All right. Let's hear what D got to say. Go ahead, D. Then we'll hear from 10 Toes.
I believe that he's been embarrassed for so long. What's been going on in the you know with his wife and everything that's playing out in that circle. That I believe that it just hit him at one moment. But if you ask me, I feel he was wrong for handling it the way he handled it. You know what I mean? Don't do it on live broadcasts. Keep it behind stage, keep it in the street. But don't jeopardize your career and embarrass yourself live on camera the way you did, man, because you got a lot of young people, a lot of older people, middle-class people that look up to you coming from the hood, coming from nothing to become something, and then you just throw it all away by embarrassing yourself live on TV like that, man. Like, I think that was totally wrong, the way he handled it.
I agree. Okay, 10 Toes, how you feel about that?
Well, I think that, first of all, Will Smith was just being a human being, man. And I think that what Will Smith suffered from, I think that he suffered from bipolarism, you know, and all of these things that he has done and held down in himself for years, from being part of the elite, from walking through that door, you know what I'm saying? And I believe that he suffered from poor impulse control at that moment, you know, in which we all suffer from poor impulse control at times in our lives. And you can't say that it can't happen to you and that you wouldn't do that until you put in that position. So when it comes to him and his wife, he's been under so much scrutiny. He's been having to accept and swallow so much that, you know what? That moment right there was just the buildup from past things that maybe he was going through with Chris Rock. Because right after it happened, no one went to Chris Rock. Everybody went to Will Smith. And that just showed that, you know what? It's been some type of conflict between them. And they went to him. And they usually go to the person who was really smacked or the one that was hurt. But for them to go to the person that did the smacking, it must have been maybe conversations with them before, like, yo, he probably went to Tyler Perry, went to Denzel. They probably was speaking, I'm tired of this motherfucker. He ain't listening or whatever. Because you can see they was cool at one time, Will Smith and Chris Rock and his wife. And then he first got on stage and said it the first time. He probably admonished him about it and told him, yo, you know, you got to fall back, whatever language he used. So that night right there, Will Smith waited. I believe he was waiting for Chris to get out there and for him to say something stupid. And he said, man, fuck this shit. I'm tired of this. And he went up there and he used every excuse in the world on why he going to get up and smack the shit out of him. On his way over there. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Now, he was laughing when he first said it. He enjoyed the joke like everyone else. They put the camera on him.
I laughed too. I laughed. You could be like, yo,
but what I'm saying is, I mean, it looked like,
yeah, but deep down
but it looked like a genuine laugh though. Hey, yo, family, we know a sinister laugh and a genuine laugh. You know what I
mean? Not when it comes to him. He's an actor. He's in acting mode. You cannot tell
Good point.
Or if it's real.
Well,
He's
he
good
fooled
with
the
it.
hell out of me.
Yeah. Of course, he's
Just
gonna
keep
laugh.
it you know?
Yeah, motherfucker. I could show you a laugh and you think that is genuine. I could do it. You think that I'm just laughing with
well,
it.
he did. There
been times when I was at comedy shows, even with Smokey. When I first came on, I used to do comedy and all that, and I'm up in there with Smokey. I wrecked him, but I just went a short distance. Smokey just went in. He was going ham on me, right?
Yeah.
My boys and everybody that was there with me who I invited, they all laughing. But one of my mans was laughing, and then he got up and he was like, yo, enough of that shit, man. And they like, come on, you getting serious? He like, enough of that fucking joking shit. Nigga, I ain't with that. And I'm like, yo, chill, man. Hold on, man. We just laughed. Come on, bro. But you would think that he was just laughing and everybody's just enjoying the show and this and that. But he kept going, and then my man started taking it personal and he was joking on me. But my thing is like, I could take the joke because I gave it out to him first. You know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't been able to tell that he was ready to get up and just start spazzing out up at Mocha's. So I'm like, yo, nah, chill, homie, chill. Nah, this is just jokes, man. Go outside for a minute. And he had to leave, go outside and get some air. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, just chill. And you got that. You got dudes that's gonna laugh, dudes that's gonna hold it down for a minute, but then it's gonna come to a point where that poor impulse control gonna kick in and you're gonna be like, yo, fuck this, man. You know?
All right, so let me ask you the same thing. I'm gonna give you the screen by yourself. Do you think he was wrong or right, and why?
I don't think it was no wrong or right in that. I think you could be right. He could be right in it, and he could be wrong.
Okay, excuse me. Let me say the question I'm asking is: do you 10 toes down? Do you, no one else, do you feel that Will Smith was wrong or right in your own words? Why or why not? We want to know your opinion because it counts. That's all I'm talking about. Nobody else.
I think that he was wrong for getting up and doing that in front of everybody and shaming Chris Rock, right? But I do believe that he should have handled it different. He should have waited. He should have went on stage. Like I said on my shit, I would have waited until he went backstage, and I would have went back there, and then you would have seen. But you know that Chris Rock would have defused the situation if Will Smith would have went back there and had spoken with him, and you know they had a dialogue. But if he would have went off on down, okay, shut up, or threaten him with a smack. I'll smack the shit out of you. You do it again, something like that. But I believe that he was wrong for getting up there and shaming Chris like that, not because of a black thing or a white thing or nothing. I just think that it was wrong just as a human being, that you shouldn't be putting your hands on a person no matter what they say or how they say it or however you may feel. But you know, I made jokes of it. I did it on my channel. I did, you know, on my Instagram. I made jokes about it. But in all seriousness, I think that Will could have handled it different. But I understand why he did what he did, because he's suffering from something right now. Especially when you're in that, when you're making so much money and you start to believe that you are above everything. You're above Lord, you're above a Grammy, I'm above everything. And then, but you can see it. Look, after that shit happened, right? And then everybody talked to him and everything went back down. Reality set in. And now he's sitting up here crying and saying, I hope they let me back in here again. And now he's thinking about it. But at that moment,
now, okay, that's another thing. Being that I got your verbal opinion, that's another thing. When it was over, when he won the award, he went on stage, my brother, and never once apologized to Chris for doing that. He had a chance to even say, "Yo, my bad, I lost it."
He couldn't do that right then and there. You know why? Because the ego was still there, the pride was still there, so he couldn't put that out there yet.
But that's what I'm saying. So all that he's saying now don't mean nothing to me, because if you was really remorseful, you understand what I'm saying? You would have apologized.
I'm saying he's not remorseful to Chris. He's remorseful to the people. He said, I apologize to all the other people.
I know, but it should be to Chris, don't you think?
Yeah, it should have been to Chris, but at that moment, his pride and everything was in the way, and he didn't care about how Chris felt, because he feels that Chris didn't care about how I felt when you was talking about my wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that
you 100%. You're 100% right. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just adding to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To just let it be known that it goes all the way around the board. But like I said, he fooled me, man. I'm not gonna sit there faking. The way he was laughing, I thought that he was really, like he enjoyed the joke. You understand what I'm saying? And then his wife, she didn't like the joke. He saw her and she gave my eye like, nigga, you better go defend me. You know what I mean? And he went up there and did what he did. That's the way I saw it.
And I doubt that she would even give him an eye to go up there and defend her right then and there. Like,
no, but they showed it in the camera the way she cut her eyes at him. Like, oh, you gonna let him talk to me like that?
No, I think she looked at him in a way like, can you believe this motherfucker up here now doing this dumb shit now?
Yeah, whatever you want to say, but she let him know that she didn't like him up there saying
that. She said, didn't she say something about him even going up there doing that? That she wouldn't agree with.
I don't know. I missed it. I'm just saying how I feel. I don't know. So you know more than me. I'm just saying how Unique feel. You know?
Yeah. But with her, she has said something about him going up there doing that, and they saying like, damn, that's fucked up. That now he did that for her, and she's saying that he shouldn't have did it.
See, yeah, I didn't know that.
And then they got the shot from when he did it. When Will smacked him, they got Jada Pinkett laughing. She's sitting there laughing and shit in her seat.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, you got to see the shot. Somebody behind her had a camera, and they were showing her, and she was laughing. You could see the laughing and shit when he did it. When Will went up there and smacked her.
Well, she did her Bonnie and Clyde. She is from B-More. Big shout out to B-More. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She did a Bonnie and Clyde. Her man went up there and rolled for her, and she said, "That's my man." You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know how we do. Sometimes we act a fool for our woman, but I'm just saying, I would have thought that when you get to $40 million a movie in a $40 million house, that you think twice before you do things that might jeopardize that and turn that stone house into straw. You understand? Because these people the same way. Look what they did to Arsenio Hall. Y'all remember how they did Arsenio Hall? He had the #1 rating show, and they told him don't put Farrakhan on. He put Farrakhan on when they told him not to put him on. And he had the #1 syndicated show over Johnny Carson. You understand what I'm saying? That was in the 90s, and they took him off the air and blackballed him where he can't even get another movie unless it's a B-roll in a black B-roll movie. You know what I mean?
I think Gruff waiting to come in.
Where he at? Tell Gruff to come on.
That was crazy, that. I remember that. I remember that when he had Farrakhan up there. They told the nigga don't do it. And he did it, and he took the nigga off the show.
Exactly.
But he did a lot for the culture too, bro. Like Arsenio, he brought a lot of hip hop artists.
Oh yeah, remember his show, Arsenio Hall show. That's what I'm talking about. He had the #1 talk show.
Yes, sir. They that shit was popping. You know what I'm saying?
This is
our
straight history we giving.
You know what's crazy is that when like the history that y'all giving, that's why I think it's very important that you guys from the West Side really speak up more, because they assume that West Harlem history is just the Rich Porter shit. And it's more than that, because he mentioned Red Tops, you mentioned 158th, 162nd. Now you gotta think about this. When crack first hit, it was still a party drug in certain zip codes in Manhattan.
Yeah,
exactly. By the time it hit 10029, I would say 87, 86 to 88 was when it became an epidemic. You niggas had a different flow uptown. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
Yeah, because we had the 404 club. They used to go in there, cook it up and smoke it in the 404 club. You understand what I'm saying? In the back of the Disco Fever, in the back of the Disco Fever, they had a free base room where you go back there, they rent you the torch, the pipe, the bottle, and you go sit in the back of the Disco Fever and you smoke free base cocaine, my nigga.
Yeah,
you
had the free base. It wasn't even crack. It was free base and inside the Oasis when they used to be up in there getting high.
There you go. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you remember the Oasis right up the street from you?
On the east side.
Yeah, up there on Broadway. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
See, that's the visual culture of this shit. Then it came downtown. Then it began to muzzle its way to different zip codes. Because by the time 87, 86, 87, that's when it became an epidemic in East Harlem. Like, we had spots, Black Park, allegedly. Hill Ho, allegedly. Washington, no, not even Hill Ho yet, but 3rd Ave 100th Street. You know what I'm saying? It began to come down, but it was uptown. So let's think about something that was uptown, how much money that was going. Because you had to go uptown to go get it. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? There wasn't a spot that was in the middle. 110th Street was still heroin, my nigga. If a nigga sit here on the east side and say they had a Quill spot in 1984, they lying, my nigga. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
Yeah. And they lying saying a little bit of everything nowadays. You know? So
came from the west side. Anything that came to, by the time it got to the east, think about it, by the time it came to the east side, 10 Toes Down, Unique, and Big D, y'all niggas already caught the beginning of it. We caught the ass end. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? You know what I'm saying? We caught it's a flow already.
Hey, 10 Toes Down, tell them what it was like up in Washington Heights. That's what he's talking about. You know what I mean? Back in the early 90s. Like you know I mean, late 80s when you was growing up. Tell them how it looked as far as with the users and the runners, and give them a real descriptive picture, my brother. Give them that descriptive picture so they know you official. You know?
See the difference between them, like on the hill, you had some blacks, but you had a lot of Dominicans. So when I came up, I was fucking with nothing but Dominicans. You know what I'm saying? And they were the ones that was bringing in by the boatload. And Unique was fucking with Dominicans. And back then it was different, man. And it was nothing but, for me, through my eyes, I seen it as nothing but love. I seen that brothers was putting brothers on, that when it came to that era, brothers used to put brothers on. I don't care what was going on. They see you pull up, I'm like, hey, what's up with your sneakers, man? You need to get your shit up, man. And they'd give you a pack and have you hustling. And it was different back then, man. It was nothing but love. But at the same time, it really wasn't love, because it was poison. We was feeding poison to one another. We was giving poison to one another to distribute throughout our communities. But as far as the whips and the money and everything, it was very lucrative. It was a lot of money, and the police was in on it. They was down with the shit.
All right, let's speak on that. Let's speak on that. Let's get them some tools on that. Because 10 Toes Down, that's why I love, you know, me and you, when we get to kick it in person, we go and we have fun. You know what I mean? We just ride around with the kids or the wife or whatever and literally have fun with our conversation, right?
Yeah.
You just said something that was right on point. You know what I mean? Run that last statement back that you said.
Which one? The 30-30?
Yeah, now before the 30-30. You know what I mean? You were saying something that I really like when you was breaking it down.
As far as us still serving poison, or?
Yeah, there you go. As far as still serving poison. That's the key. You understand? That I want everybody to understand where our mindset was at, where our parents' mindset was at, where society's mindset was at. Not just ours as the drug dealer. The way the United States and the world was set up, it was all right to sell drugs.
It was all right.
They had no problem when I bought a shoebox with $60,000 down to Martin's Mercedes-Benz or BMW and bought me a brand new Mercedes. Them people had no problem with it then.
As long as you kept it up there, as long as you kept it where you was at.
You know what I mean?
You would have brought it down there to their neighborhoods, it was a problem, but it wasn't no problem. My uncle told me when I first started hustling, getting money, he said, you know, you got to take care of the family now. I'm like, fuck you talking about? He said, let me school you. When you hustling and you start getting a certain amount of money, you got to take care of your family. So now you got to start taking the family. So give me mine. I'm like, what I got to give you? He said, motherfucker, go in your pocket and give me what you got. I'm like, oh shit, all right. And he the one, so it made it all right. And this is coming from an uncle. So I'm like, damn, somebody I looked up to. And he wasn't no drug dealer. He wasn't. He used to motherfucking work. He had a job. But it was acceptable because they accepted it because you out there getting money. You ain't hurting nobody. And you know the mentality. That's how it was back then. It was all right. They accepted it in our neighborhoods. Even the old women in our neighborhoods, when you gave out turkeys, when you did whatever you did, gave parties or black parties for the neighborhood, they accepted it and they looked at you as like, you know, somebody that was up there that made it. You know, But now, being that it had slipped out our communities and started hitting all the other communities, white communities, and now it's become a epidemic, a pandemic, every goddamn demic.
There you go. There you go. There you go. He gave it to you from where he came in at in the early 80s, late 70s. You understand? As a kid watching this grow up. Now, I'm going to give you from the 70s on back. Back then, like I said, 163rd Street between Broadway and Amsterdam. I was living in New Jersey. Everybody was coming from New Jersey to 163rd Street between Broadway and Amsterdam to come get their cocaine back then. You know what I mean? Everybody was going between Broadway and Amsterdam, 163rd. That's the street when Mayor Giuliani got in office. He went out there with a New York Yankee jacket on. New York Yankee had, as the mayor, he wasn't disguising himself, but he just had a New York Yankee jacket and a hat on, and he went out there, and a Dominican ran up on him on camera and tried to sell him cocaine. And that's when Giuliani went up there. I was locked up at this time, but I saw the Daily News and all of it with Giuliani on the front page with the dude. You know what I mean? But you could Google it, you know. But like I said, you know, that was at the beginning. And at that time, we had spots as far as like they saying, because it's a rest in peace to Djkay. So back then, they had the XC Garage, the T Connection, the Stardust Ballroom, Authors Roundtable up there, you know, Bronx River. You know what I'm saying? Savoy Manor. You know what I mean? Come on, man. I mean, you know, Ebony Lounge, Willie's Lounge came a little later. But you know what I mean? I mean, this is how we was rocking. You know, that was New York back then. And when, as long as like 10 Toes said, we kept it contained amongst ourselves, all of this partying and fun and enjoying poisoning our people and everything. As long as we kept it there, we was good. But when they started coming outside like New Jersey, Connecticut, North Carolina, Philly, Baltimore, you know what I mean? Boston, they started coming down there to Washington Heights to cop. And they start seeing white people coming through there, driving in between 158th Street, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, a white person come through there with their girlfriend and all that because they partied and they drove down from Boston to come cop. That's the era that I come from. When they pull up, you got 10 dudes run up on the car. I got it, Poppy. You remember me from last time? Come on, remember I gave you the good thing back time. I gave you a lot. And everybody got a spill and never saw this customer before in their life. You understand? I wrote about that 10 Toes in my Audiobook, in my Roaring Harlem, where the Dominicans back then, when I was robbing houses in New Jersey and all of that, and carrying on and smoking free-base cocaine in the back of the Disco Fever and up in 404 Club, I ain't ashamed to say none of that, because back then that was a get money drug. You understand what I'm saying? I'm in Brooklyn with the Gully Posse and everybody over there smoking. I mean, that's what we was doing. This before crack. This when Michael Jackson was doing it and Brooke Shields was doing it. Let's get this right. Yeah, the greatest Michael Jackson with freebasing. You understand what I'm saying? Isaac Hayes. You understand what I'm saying? Burt Reynolds. You understand? I could name a whole bunch of them, black and whites. Man, it's everything with freebasing back then. That was the drug of choice. You getting money, that's what you do. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the era that I'm talking about. So we had the 404 Club and all that jumping. And then from there, then they opened up the spot where they started selling it already cooked up for $20. And that's when they called them jumbos. You remember jumbos, Toes? You know what I mean? Let me bring Zeke and them up, my bad, because I know they remember all this. You know what I mean? And they could add to this when they had the jumbos. You know what I mean? The big $20 bottles.
That's when they said you were scrambling.
Old 31, you know, it's crazy shit. Old 31.
Scrambling back then.
You
know?
the illusions. Yo, you know what's fucked up, though? You know what's so crazy? That's why I like speaking to the older G's, because the only thing that misses us from the history is a lot of you guys wound up catching bids in the end of the edgy part of the game. Like the early 90s, a lot of you niggas was getting that time. Yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Yo, a lot of shit changed. When y'all niggas was in the penitentiary, man, the streets began to change. Blocks was changing, bosses was changing. That little stupid dirty nigga that you laughed at became the boss. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? And yo, like he said, the jumbo shit. Yo, we was giving niggas What y'all go? What allegedly y'all gave niggas for $20 and $100. We was giving niggas for $3. You know what I'm saying? We was just giving it away because it was your block. Yo, it was like every block had cribs.
Listen,
it's like
man,
every block had it. It wasn't like.
I remember driving down 8th Avenue, coming out the garage on Bradhurst, and driving around, drive up 155th, bust a right on by the Blimpies, you know what I mean, and drive down towards 45th Street, you know what I mean, going from 55th to 54th, 53rd, and I had a garbage bag full of $1 bills that I had nowhere to put, that I just put in the back seat and just let the money fly out and just let everybody run out there, shut traffic down, grabbing money up off the floor. You know what I mean? People thought I was crazy for doing it. I wasn't crazy for doing it. It's better than giving samples of crack out. I know they was going right back to the crack block to go do it. Yes, I was poisoning the community. I knew no better. I'm just letting you know how the era was. You understand what I'm saying? And when
I want to ask you a question. This is the question with that. Was cocaine that big in the dope era, sniffing wise, that when it came to the crack era, it just exploded? Or that freebase thing just became like viral? Like that
freebase thing, that freebase thing is like how they try and show it on Tommy's show Force.
Yeah,
when they sniff the drug and they just whoop and they just go there. Freebase is a type of thing where you take that one hit and you just did, and then they always chasing that last hit. You know what I mean? And they're never gonna find it, and they wind up doing that for decades. But the feeling is just so good. Some say it's better than having an orgasm. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you hear all types of stuff about, they first hit of the pipe. You understand? Just like a dope fiend, the first, shot of dope. You understand what I'm saying? And, but, once that happened and they dropped the price where anybody could get to it at $3 a bottle, you understand? At $5 a bottle, people started trying it. The lesser people that couldn't afford it when it was $100 a gram. You understand what I'm saying? But now it's like $30 a gram. $25 a gram.
Yeah.
To buy crack up the hill at 154th Street that Jay-Z talked about in Empire State of Mind when he went up to 145th and Broadway by the McDonald's. Yeah, all that is true.
Yeah, that's real.
Wow. All that is real. 10 toes down, right up the street. I was there with my man Felipe on 52nd. He had Marley over there. Him. You know what I mean?
Felipe's
Come on, man. Felipe Dalilo. You understand? White Pete, Felix. You know what I mean? Allen on 163rd. You understand? Wani on 157. Choco on 156. You know what I mean? I can keep going up and up. Don't forget Booby up there by 187. Don't forget Ruben and Pinky. You understand what I'm saying? Over there on 174 on Autobahn. I mean, this is Washington Heights, my nigga. This is where I ran. You understand? And I was also getting money down on 8th Avenue where blacks didn't go up there to all those places that I named.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's facts.
Yeah.
Where if you try to talk to a Dominican girl, they look at you like you're crazy. But if somebody introduced you to a Dominican girl, another Dominican, now you family and it's all right for them to talk to you. But for them to just pop up with a black dude and say that this is my man as a Dominican female, they can't go home and do that. Not coming off or fresh off the joint. What's the question? So how did freebase turn into crack? It turned into crack because they started adding baking soda with it to stretch it, where it still gave them that high, but not enough high to be able to satisfy their high, so they continued to chase. So once they made it where they add the baking soda, they was able to drop the price. And they dropped it from $100 a gram to $30 a gram. So the government knew what they was doing when they slid it in to make it accessible. They made it accessible to every man, the same way they made the World Wide Web accessible, the same way they made iPhone accessible. Before that, they was into cocaine, making that accessible, crack cocaine, to get it in every person's hands. Every poor person's hand was their intentions. You know what I mean? But then the rich started getting hip to it because they was mixing with a couple of poor people. You know what I mean? And they saw it on the news where Brooke Shields, you know what I mean, is getting high, and Michael Jackson is getting high, and they down in Studio 54. Let's not forget Studio 54. They down at Plato's Retreat. You know what I mean? Let's take it all the way back. You know what I mean? So that's the answer to your question, where that came from. It became prevalent because they made it affordable and accessible to everyone.
Yeah, you're right.
Yo, I want to send love out, man, to the Grayson family, man.
Yeah,
that's like
you
right now. Look, you see how it is with the drill music, right? That we only killing one another with the drill music, right? And the government, they're not making it a big issue. Let some white kids start killing each other over this fucking drill music.
Exactly.
They gonna shut shit down. They gonna fucking ban it. They gonna be like, that's the end of that. Ain't no more drill music. Let some
the
white
same
kids
way they try to do gangster rap when Tupac and them was out. You understand what I'm saying? And Biggie was out. You know, that's where C. Dolores Tucker came in at with that foolishness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where she tried to get them. She said that Tupac disrespected her so much on the records that she couldn't even have an orgasm or get turned on. And she wanted to be paid and compensated for that and took him to court to get millions for her saying that she couldn't get turned on because he talked so bad about her. Big rest in peace to the big homie K-Slay. This is what this is, of music and hip hop and Harlem and Bronx and Brooklyn and Queens. We just chilling. Because we can go to the Q Club.
Yeah. When I spoke with K, we used to go back like this back in the days, this shit, and he be taking me back, yo, and with my brother and all that. When my brother used to ride on the train, when he be like, yo, man, I'm talking about back when you was a little nigga, man. I'm talking about when we was writing on the trains, break dancing, all this and that. I remember he first showed me that picture when he was on him and Case. You know Case? You know?
Yeah, Case, yeah.
When he used to write with Case. And I grew up with Case sisters. And he was like, yo, yeah, me and Case. And when I see him, I'm like, oh shit, you know Case? Word. But yeah, K-Slay.
Yo, it's funny. Yo, you know it's funny that you just said that? Case had a beef with a white boy in graffiti. Remember White and Black called Cap One.
I remember
Cap One. You know what I'm saying? Mars Park crew. I'm happy you here. So when they say that white boys are new to hip hop, it be like, what? Because white boys they been right.
You remember PJ and C?
Cap One or DJA?
Was it what's the name? White boy 2 PJ and Scene? Or was that a Spanish and a white dude?
Yeah.
I remember when K and Chico used to battle it out. The tattoo artist, the graffiti artist Chico.
So Eminem should not be a surprise to hip hop because white boys always been a part of our culture. That's why when I listen to 10 Toes Down, when he go in on certain niggas, I understand what he's saying because what are you talking about, bro? You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me that Eminem's against the hip hop when Case and them niggas was going to war with Cap One. That video that you see that K-Slay's rapping at the train station outside, they're at Morris Park train station in the Bronx, laying on the NPC crew. The tall white boy, Cap One, is the Wiz in them niggas. Is the Wiz, Morris Park crew. If you ever been to the Bronx, it's called Morris Park. Morris Park section has a lot of Albanians. Am I right, 10 Toes Down? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The tall white boy with the red hair.
All right, hold up. Let me answer this question. I'm going to pull y'all off while I answer this because then I want each one of y'all to come up. I like the question up there. They say, Unique, what was a summer day like in 1988? So I'm going to come up. I'm going to give my joint of a summer day. You give each person going to give their day of a summer day in 88. You know what I mean? So let's get it right. You know? A typical summer day in 88. All right, I get up in the morning. You know what I mean? I beat that. You know what I mean? He hit me back. I said, yo, I'm getting ready to take out the red Benz. You know what I mean? Get me a red Gucci outfit with the matching hat. Make sure you put the 5% star on the back and a big Gucci label on the left side of the sleeve. You know what I mean? And make the collar like a baseball jacket. And I'm describing the jacket on the phone. So you understand how intricate this man Dapper Dan is. So y'all know, you know, I'm describing the jacket on the phone saying, yeah, give me a joint, you know, a sweat jacket, you know, with a pair of shorts. You know what I mean? But I need a jacket and I need a pullover shirt to go with it. You know what I mean? The same material. And make the collar, you know, like a sweatsuit collar, a little mock neck type Chinese neck. You know what I mean? Give me elastic around the waistline. You know what I mean? And make it a pullover with a zipper. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, I go to the garage, get out the red Benz. I pull up on Dapper Dan. You know, he give me the little outfit. I tell him, yo, hook me up something for the night. You know what I mean? With pants, you know, that's going to go with the blue BMW, the midnight blue BMW. You understand what I'm saying? Then I call the jeweler and I tell him, look, I need a BMW piece made with a sapphire blue stone in the back. I still got the blue joint with the stone in the back to stamp everything that I'm telling you. So, you know, he throw a little BMW on the joint, you know what I mean? On a little medallion, got the blue sapphire behind it, got the BMW and diamonds, the diamond bezel on it, got the little diamond chain on it, you know what I mean? And, you know, that's my outfit for the night. But that day I said, man, I'm bored. So I jump on the highway and I drive down to Baltimore. You know what I mean? Down to Maryland, 3 hours away from New York. You know what I mean? Get to, you know, leave there about, 10 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Get there about 1, hang out down there till about 7 o'clock. You know what I mean? 7 o'clock, I leave there, drive back up. You know what I mean? Go in the crib, park the car in the garage, go get out another joint, go lay down. You know what I mean? Then when I wake up, I call Dap. I say, yo, I'm getting ready to come through for the blue outfit. You know what I mean? So I slide through, get the blue outfit, try it on there. The shit fit. If it don't fit, let him tailor it, tap it right there, do what he need to do. You know what I mean? And he knock it out right there. Now I'm ready to go roll out. I, throw the little blue joint on because I had one of the homies pick it up for me, one of the runners. And, next time, I pull over on 145th Street, got to go through 45th Street. You know what I mean? So I slide down 45th Street, 8th Avenue, going towards 7th Avenue real slow by Willie Burger. Got to go slow. You know what I mean? Then I go down and I make a right down there on 7th Avenue towards 144th Street. You know what I mean? Go up 143rd and then come down 144th because they had a couple of cuties in there too. Then I slide down towards 134th Street and 8th Avenue. Over there at 480 St. Nicholas, but the entrance is on 8th Avenue, 134th Street. Slide over through there, got a little couple of cuties out there. That's where Miss T and all of them used to be at with Michelle and, you know what I mean, Shelly and, you know what I mean, the whole crew was out there. You know what I mean, Sherelle and her sister. And, they had a bunch of nice girls out there. So after we leave there, I could hit 25th Street, drive by the Apollo. You know what I mean? Pull up by the Apollo, jump out. You know what I mean? Let random girls coming by, take pictures with you and all that, get numbers and, you know what I mean? For the beeper, because we had beepers back then. Get the little beeper numbers, give them their little code so you know who it is. And you know what I mean? You usually do it by what street they from or whatever. Then after we take the pictures there, that's where I normally see Big D at over there, taking the pictures with the big homies. Then I slide down towards 7th, towards Lenox. You know what I mean? Make a right towards 124th and Lenox. Pull over there. Check out Sean and Fats over there with hit on 123rd and Lenox. You know what I mean? Then pull up, hit 7th Avenue. Go down there, pull up in front of Red Alert building, check my man Zekee, you know what I mean? See what's going on with him, make sure everything all right, because that's family. And then I hit 112th Street, you know what I mean? Go by Rambo, Slick, Gene, the family, you know what I mean? Come on, Sasquatch, you know what I mean? Let's not forget 12th Street, got to go through 12th Street with Hannibal, you know what I mean? His sister, Kiki, with the freckles, you know what I mean? So, we shoot by there and we hang out and, all this only in like maybe 20, 30 minutes to an hour. Depends how long you want to stop at either spot you cruise by. You know what I mean? So after I leave there, you know what I mean? I slide uptown. I hit 8th Avenue. I drive real slow up 8th Avenue. Then I say, man, let me go over here and hit 25th Street, bust a left, shoot towards Brant Projects, drive around in the projects for a minute. You know what I mean? And then I say, man, let me go up toward Washington Heights. I shoot up toward Washington Heights. I hit by 152nd, jump out, talk to Felipe and hang out for a minute. You know what I mean? Then I slide over to 156th Street, see old Chocolate. You know what I mean? Black Dominican was out there. Then I might slide to 57th Street. You know what I mean? Go see Wani, hang out with him for a minute. Then shoot over there to 163rd, go see Allen. Chill for a minute on 163rd between Broadway and Wadsworth. You know what I mean? It's the other side of 163rd now became the weed spot. Big shout out. Y'all already know if y'all ever Washington Heights about 163rd between Broadway and Washington. Big shout out to the big homie. But, so after I leave there, I might hit over there at 174th Street in the Autobahn, go check out Ruben and Pinky. You understand what I'm saying? I hang out with them for a minute, And then, they're on 174 Autobahn, so I just bust the right down there and I hit Amsterdam, make the right, make the left, catch the little bridge down and back towards Polo Grounds and Colonial Park, and now I'm going to take my 8th Avenue route. So I pull up, by the Rucker Park for a minute, get out, see out there, show off my new Dapper Dan outfit. Yeah, we was into showing off and all that back then, but, that's how Harlem do. You know what I mean? So after we do that, then, slide over there to the payphone at Blimpies. You know what I mean? Look down rooftop, see if any crowd down there yet, if it's the weekend night or whatever, skate night. And then, slide over there across the street to Buck's joint.
you know what I mean, the gambling spot, or I might hit, you know what I mean, Mr. Nick joint with Spidey up under the bridge, you know what I mean? And, you know, and I'm moving around, and I slide over there to the Mecca on 152nd from 155th over there by the Blimpie, just so you know we 3 blocks away, because now, you know, I'm in my hood that I love, because I love seeing my people. You know what I mean? So I pull up in there, you know what I mean? Leave one of the whips out there, whatever I'm driving. Everybody see the joint there. They know that I'm there. They pull over, and everybody want to know what we're going to do for the night. And the night didn't even begin yet. That was just me cruising, my nigga. You know what I mean? But, you know, then after that, we might hit, you know, Ebony Lounge or Willie's Lounge or Savoy Manor. You know what I mean? I like the uptown joints, the family-orientated joints. I wasn't really into going out to Bentleys, but, you know, I did Red Zone and, you know, Red Parrot. And, you know what I mean? Come on, you know? You know, certain joints like that was jumping in, you know. But now I'm going to bring somebody else. I've been talking long enough. You know what I mean? So give me your typical night, Zeke. All right, give me yours.
88, you was 88, my man. We was on the block. We just to get in the fresh, man. We go to Mr. G's, buy some Uptowns. Some you know, some Nike Dunks, some Discus sweatsuits, Champion sweatsuits, fitted hats. We go to back then we was going to like Jibo, the pro parties, double R parties. There was a lot of money in the streets, you know what I'm saying? It was $1 million in the street. We was young boys. We was the young boys. So we was the new niggas on the come up. Shout out to the PT 131 posse, shout out to the Wash Mob, rest in peace, and White and all of them. Shout, you know what I'm saying? Green, them niggas, them. We was the new niggas. So we was just the young boys on the come up under the Tone Lopez's and you know, Sugar Hill Tone was around us from Sugar Hill area, and you know, rest in peace Superman, and you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Coco. Back then, Jimmy Coco had Third Ave. 88, Jimmy Coco had Third Ave crazy. Jimmy Coco, for those that don't know who Jimmy Coco was, that's UFO Thief Uncle, the rap nigga that fuck with Fat Joe. He had Third Ave crazy. We was just getting fresh. We was young boys. Uptowns and 40 Belows and my man, shout out to my man Wiggs and all of them. We was on our super fly shit. The average night we go with San Francisco D-Cell parties. We get fresh. I throw on a nice pair of Uptowns with some chuckers, some black chuckers, some good corduroys, a nice good sweater, butter soft leather, and a nice fitted. You know what I'm saying? And you know, my hair, a good haircut. We go to San Francisco D-Cell's party. You know what I'm saying? And we be there chilling, like getting our party on. You know, double R parties, Debo the Pros. East Harlem shit, you know what I'm saying? Because everything was where we was at. Because where I lived at was the beginning. So remember, Washington Lexington Projects, we go to the steakhouse on the dates. So on the Friday night, shorty come through, we go to the steakhouse, 86th Street, you know what I'm saying? Movie theaters on 86, you know what I'm saying? So on the east side, that's what we did. Jackson Hole and all that shit. They was going to the east side, boom. But I ain't gonna front. In 88 though, it was just about staying fly. So we just stood fly. We was young boys that wanted to switch. The thing was how dudes were switching up cars, we were switching up sneakers, garments. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And because we was young boys, so we knew that every day I couldn't wear the same pair of sneakers. I couldn't wear the same hat. So we had the game hats. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Kato, who brought me to the west side. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't hear you, brother.
My bad. The mute was on. What I said is that back then we couldn't drive the same cars at the levels that we was at. You know what I mean? Harlem was at. So everybody had
cars. Y'all was to the roof.
You know what I mean?
Remember, me and
the
my
same
man,
way, like you said, everybody buying sneakers. That's how the older dudes was buying cars. You understand that?
Cars.
The dudes in between them was buying jewelry. You see a dude come out with a nice chain, and you know what I mean? But they don't want a car, but that's how they want to move and stick. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's how we did it. Okay.
That was like 16. When y'all remember, when I was 16, you niggas was above the law over there. We was like, yo, they coming through because we gotta keep this in mind.
when y'all was coming through, like 3rd Ave, going downtown, or say we go to Willie Burgers to be fans. Willie Burgers was a tourist spot.
You're not in the camera. Move over in the camera.
Willie Burgers was a tourist spot for every nigga that went to stand around, who went to see money niggas.
Yeah.
Yes. So think about this. I was 16 years old. If I was at Willie Burgers on a Friday night at 1 o'clock in the morning, I was just there being a fan. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? To the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I want to get money, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we did. So what we did was we did it by switching up sneakers and trying to be, we kept the Harlem Get Fly shit. You know, the butter soft leathers to go to Dapper Dan. We kept that culture. We had our little small clubs, like, you know, community center, like I told you, San Francisco DeSales and Hunter Street parties, and that's East Side shit. But you niggas on the West Side, y'all was being too disrespectful. Y'all was coming through with these Zoom buggies and all this shit that we were sitting back going,
what they doing up there?
I ain't gonna front. You niggas, think about this. When I was 15, 16 years old, some of y'all was like 17, 18 on your 3rd car, my nigga, you hear me?
Yeah.
But we didn't see that flow because we was little niggas. Think about this. Y'all had a faster pace than we had on the East Side, bro. When it came to the money, because it was like by the time we got our chance, we was like 18 years old, 17 years old. You niggas had your chance at 15. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was different on the East Side, not because of Black and Puerto Rican. It's just that Sugar Hill was still the party. No matter how many Puerto Ricans was on the East Side, you was paying $100 a glizzy, bro. So niggas was like, fuck that. I'm going to the West Side where I can pay 30.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The Italian niggas wasn't fucking with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
All right, 10 toes. Let's hear your typical night back in 88. Oh, we say 92 if you're too young.
Let me tell you something. Motherfucker can't even give a typical night. You done went through every motherfucking thing. You done had, I'm sitting in the passenger seat with you like this. Yeah, what up, you? Yeah.
I don't do that, son. I just told him where I go, how I do me.
Motherfucker sleep. Motherfucker like this in the passenger, like, yo, what's up, you? Where we going? Yo, 88, that was Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, you already know.
Huh?
Yeah.
88 was the year. I don't know if 88 or 89 was better, but I think 88 was the year where that was the shine year. That summer was the beautifulest summer ever, man. Like, I can't even explain. I don't even know how to explain that year, the feeling.
Now, when say the year, give me one day. I'm responding to what my man asked us to do. He asked for one day how we celebrated or how we hung out on a summer night in 1988. So man, I got a summer night, your pockets is fat.
I got a picture from 88 where I had the motherfucking big ass anchor with the blue and red rubies and diamonds in it with the listen. Let's see.
Tell us about that night. Give me that night. How did that night play out?
Let me tell me if you remember this. I had a joint with the motherfucking onyx on it.
The black onyx. Come on.
That's right. I had the joint with the onyx on it, with the Gucci joint.
The Gucci lamp. The egg-shaped joint.
Every night, listen, you can't say one night in 88 because every night was the fucking night. It was like it was a show.
But still, just tell me about the night with the blue outfit. Tell me about the night with the blue outfit.
I mean, it was just, you know, it was regular shit. Motherfucker, get up, get fly. Back then, we was wearing the Reeboks. Had my girl brought her the 5411s. Come out, go to KP Kong, get you something real quick, because KP Kong was the spot. Go to KP Kong. From KP Kong, I go over to Reliables and get me something to eat real quick.
There you go.
Go back to the crib. You know, you coming through the block and motherfucker, yo, what you got, man? What you got? You know, you ain't open up your boxes and shit. You ain't let niggas see what you got. Go up in the crib and start getting dressed. I forgot what type of jeans we was wearing back then. I don't even.
You know, the girls was wearing big Lee and Edwins. You know, Edwin's and what the hell was the other
What the
one?
fuck we had back then? I don't even remember what the fuck
We was
we
wearing
had
Calvin Klein and shit like that, and the Guess jeans. That's what we
Yeah,
was
but I
wearing. The
remember
Guess jeans with the pencil pockets. We got that from DC.
Sergio Tassini's. I don't remember
There
like
you
the
go.
Sergio. Shoot, I remember rocking those joints back in '88. A good night, like a
There
night
you
in
go.
'88.
I think
From
Devil
there,
was out there too.
I can think about the rooftop nights in '88.
Give me a rooftop night. Give me a rooftop night.
Or the rooftop, it's a show. You come down to the rooftop after you done went shopping, got all your shit together. You pull up in the joint. All the cars is out there. You ain't getting through the block. Everybody playing music. You got my man. I forgot his name. He had the station wagon Maxima. You had you know, motherfuckers coming through on the bikes. They thinking that Harlem just started doing bikes. We've been doing bikes from back in the days.
You know what I mean?
We've been riding the bikes from back then. You come through, you get up inside the top. If you was somebody, your Brucey B shouting you out when you come in. Yeah, so my man, Brucey B was the illest with it because he had the echo going on in this joint. They got my man Johnny Fresh up in the house. Got my man up in here, 140th. Oh yeah, but before you go to the top, you know you got to go through the blocks. Like Unique was saying, you got to drive through all the blocks. You got to go through 143rd, 144th. You got to go through 40th Street. 40th Street was the block. For me, was the block to go through because it was always crowded. There was always people out there. All the females was out there. You go through 40th.
That was Double O and Johnny Fresh in them. Exactly.
That was Double O, Johnny Fresh. That was Troy in them back then. Go through 40th, and then you got to go through 139, 132. It was so many blocks. You got to go through on a hill. You got to go through a block, and you got to go slow. You have to.
Tell them again.
Go fast. You got to go slow. Music playing. Everybody had a system in their joint. Back then, they had the every cab you find, they always had official system in it. They always had the crazy big 4 speakers in the back with the crazy system.
And you know they called them double O's back then. OJ.
Double O's, yeah. Oh, we used to rent the Touch of Classes back then.
Yeah, the OJ's that Touch of Class.
Yeah, that's right, man. I mean, there's so much, man. I don't even like going back to that time, man, because that shit, a motherfucker missed those times right there. And I'm not even talking about with hustling and drugs and all that. I mean, just the feeling that you got.
Yeah, the fun, the energy that was there.
The love of, you know what I'm saying, being out there in the streets. And when you go party, you go party. Everybody, listen, now dudes be up in here, they be all party all up on the wall and watching this shit. And they doing these crazy dances. But back then, it was about the girls, dudes going up to meet the girls, pushing up on the shorty or something, seeing which one he can do, leave with 2 or 3 chicks. I mean, it was crazy back then. It was fun. It was all fun. It was all love, man. And the sad part of it, the whole thing about it, right? No mean to fuck up the 88. The shit saddens me that so many of us came up together, right? And it was love, and we was from the same PJ, whether it was the Polo Grounds, Colonial, Grant, wherever we was from. And motherfucker, once them drugs started kicking in, that money started coming in, now we start going to war and start killing each other. You know what I'm saying? And when you think back and you look back at them times, you're like, damn, man, so-and-so killed him over this. I imagine what he would be doing today if he was still alive. So-and-so killed him if he was still here today, and he killed him over this, over some bullshit. Even with me, when I went in and I killed somebody, and it's like, damn, if he was still here, like what it would be like to still have him here today. And it shows like how things have changed from back then, how the summers have changed, how the winters have changed. Even in the wintertime in 88 was official, it was crazy. The winter felt like the summer. I don't know. Yep. It was crazy back then in Harlem, man. The winter felt like the summer. And that's for my East Side people. I got love for the East Side. I went to school on the East Side. I went to 146. I went to 13. When I used to come over there with my man Zuzi. Yeah, man. Zuzi is my man. Dude, that's my boy. Oscar.
Yeah, you know,
yeah, I went to 146. I was over there when in Wilson when homie jumped off the roof. Remember, he dived off the roof, smoking the dust. Went upstairs. He started the fire department. Went upstairs and jumped off the roof.
Yeah, son.
Wow.
88 was sweet, man.
Yeah, see, Big D. Big D.
Hey, Big D, your turn. Your turn, Big D. Give me 88.
Lincoln like back then,
man. My highlights to that, man, I remember I used to be on 25th, man. I used to play over there next to the picture guy. Because my thing was I was catching niggas coming from out of town. You get out your car fronting with jury on. I had the 38 snub. As soon as you get out the car and you want to come take pictures fronting, I was getting niggas, then I'll take it, and all the hustlers would give me money for the jury. That's all I wanted was some money in my pocket. I didn't care about the jury. I didn't care about none of that. I catch them out of town niggas coming, thinking they coming to Harlem, trying to snatch a broad up and front and taking pictures. Niggas have man, listen, okay. I be posted up right here on the wall. So when they get out the car, nigga come taking a picture and all that. Nigga, take it off. Man.
Yo,
take it off, man. Yo, like that was just my thing, man. Like that was my highlight, man. Like I go back uptown, be my big bro gangster Lou and them.
Yeah.
We hit the rooftop, you know what I mean? We ride around and touch a class with Booby and them. It was just, man, it was just a glorious time, man. Like, you know what I mean? It was 88, man. I was in Latin Quarters, Union Square. You know, I was with my cousin Crew Keith and them. That's when they brought me in. Then I started going back to the street.
Hey, D, how old was you in 88?
Now I know why you a bully, nigga. Now I know why 10 Toes Down be on his shit.
I was 15.
Oscar.
All right, so we talking about 15 growing up. Yeah, we know he a bully. Everybody knows he a damn bully.
But you know what's crazy? Nah, you know what's crazy?
Where you from, D?
I'm from 132, 75. Well, my building I'm on 133rd on top of High Pots, building 233.
Oh, you from downtown? Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Dude, he said Oscar. So once he said Oscar,
yo, Ron Boogs, hit the link in the comments. Ron
said the right name. Now I know why 10 Down he be. Those niggas, yo, the nigga Oscar. I'm not gonna say it's AKA.
I was 6 feet.
He's a fucking bully, man. Nigga, you hear me?
Yo, I was 6 feet at 15 years old. Yeah. And back then, I used to carry 2 joints, a 38 snub and a 4-4 long.
Shit.
And any niggas with out of town plates was coming on 125th. I was catching them. And I didn't never even wore the jury. The hustlers used to just give me money for it. Yo, come here, nigga. Here, let me get that here. Nigga, I used to go to Mr. B's, nigga, and buy mad weed, walk around with pockets full of weed. That's all I wanted. You know what I mean? Bro. Get my little jean outfits, my lead outfits, and all that. Like, that's all I wanted.
Yo, unique.
Valley sneakers and all that. That's all I wanted.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yo, you really put some shit together today. Yo, you just said some shit. Now, hold on. Your man says some shit right now, 10 Toes Down, and up, right? These are Debo niggas, right? So now I pay attention now. He said Oscar. I'm not gonna even mention the nigga AKA. Oscar is the nigga that for some weird reason, you know what I'm saying? You hear me? My generation, he was the preacher without being preacher. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Like he was the Debo nigga that wasn't doing extracurricular shit to you. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? He was the so now you say you went to school at Oxford 13, Carver Mob, Madison Ave, Lehman Projects. Yo, son, I'm like, now it makes sense why 10 Toes Down is the way he is, because even though he a West Side nigga, he was around a bunch of niggas that was sort of bullying niggas. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? But it's all right. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Now it makes sense.
Nah, but what it is, 10 Toes Down got New York aggression. You understand what I'm saying?
He got that Debo shit.
That's New York. You know, back in that day, everybody was aggressive. You had to be aggressive.
His generation, definitely.
You know what I mean? You had to be aggressive. You know what I mean?
What B. Ding said, he booked niggas on the same page. Like, they hear that uptown. See, everybody say Brooklyn niggas. Harlem niggas is the worst because you either get down or you lay down. There's nothing in the middle. Don't let niggas lie to you and think Harlem niggas is soft. That's not how it goes.
You know what it was? A lot of niggas slept on the young niggas back in the days. They were so focused on niggas they seen with jury. Like I used to play right there next to the picture man. Unique used to see me.
Yeah.
I'd be right there posted up next to the picture man because all them niggas were out of town. Place they used to come from wherever they was coming from, they always wanted to sit front and take pictures with the picture guy.
Yeah.
And I'll be right there.
Get him.
I ain't have to move around nowhere. Or I go stand in front of Mark 125 because them niggas would come pull up. Them niggas would want to get outfits and go run back to their town. And they get got right there.
That's
and
where
I ain't have far to go.
That's where a dude from Jersey, I ain't gonna say no names, dude from Jersey got his M3 taken from him over there. Right there, what you talking about.
Damn.
He took his M3. I ain't gonna say his name to diss him, but you know, if you're from the hood, you know. You know what I mean? If you're from the hood, you know. Nigga came out there with the M3. Niggas thought he was faking and got him. You know what I mean? You know,
like yo, I used to go to Club 2000 with my bro Gangsta Lou and with Unique, right? I'll be in the spot. Lou and them will be over here. And Unique can tell you I'm on the wall, but I'm watching niggas. Because at the end of the night, if I seen a nigga that wasn't from the town, trust believe, that nigga start walking and he walk anywhere towards 155th, that quiet block, nigga, you was good as had, nigga. Them out of town niggas, man, I was catching them. I was young, so niggas slept on me. Niggas see me walking, wouldn't pay me no mind. Niggas like, yo, what up, shorty?
Yeah. So
soon
you know,
as the nigga went to go get in his car.
Yeah, that's where we at, man. But like, you know, you talking about the good old days. Like I said, rest in peace to Djkay. That's what this was about.
Djkayslay.
You know what I mean? I got my family up here. You know, big shout out to 10 Toes, Zeke. You know, Big D. You know, Ron G was coming in, but he driving, so I catch him another time. But we just wanted to tap in, man, and just let y'all know, rest in peace to Djkay, the drama king. You know what I mean? He done did everything for everybody. You know, yeah.
I want to ask you a question because y'all older than me, right? What was it like going to White Stone movie theater with the old Bronx niggas?
You know, back then,
I want to ask all your niggas this question. See,
nah,
this
say
is what
back then, the White Stone was the movie theater to be. You go there with the homies if you're looking for a girl, or you go there with your girl if you just want to watch a movie. You know what I mean? But when you go up there, you know, niggas used to steal cars up there. You get your joint stolen up there. You know what I mean? They had a bad reputation, like Town and Country. The hotel up there was a nice little hotel with jacuzzi. You know what I mean? You know, they steal your cars up in them type of places, especially over there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they didn't have security in the parking lot. You know what I mean? That's what I remember it from. I don't know no one else remember it from.
Now, 10 Tones, what you remember about White Stone movie theater?
No, White Stone was cool, but I ain't really fuck with the White Stone. The White Stone was cool. You just go there to get girls, man. That's all to do. Go up there.
You go.
And I used to like them Bronx girls. I love them Bronx girls because they love Harlem. They milk over Harlem, dude. You go up there, you from Harlem, and you driving and you young, they gonna love you. I used to go to the White Stone girls. That's it, man.
Okay, 10 Toes, tell us what a typical Harlem girl like.
Who?
A typical Harlem girl.
What about them?
I mean, my bad, a typical Bronx girl, because you say you like the Bronx girls.
Yeah, I love them Bronx girls.
Yeah, give me a typical Bronx girl so they know how they dress back then, how they act, their attitude. Tell them about a Bronx girl.
What's different about a Bronx girl from a Harlem girl?
That's a good one right there, too.
Well, Harlem girls, they went for the big money. When it came to a Harlem girl, they really wasn't fucking with no dude that was getting shortchanged. They was looking for the dudes that's getting all the money. If you hustling for him, they don't want you as the dude hustling for him. They want him. They don't want little short-change dudes. But dudes used to be able to come from Harlem and be the boss when they get to the Bronx. If they come to the Bronx, the whole look, everything, just the jewelry, you come through in the whip. It might not even be the dude whip. It could be the boss whip. But the Bronx girls don't know. They don't know what's going on in Harlem. And the girls in the Bronx, they whole style was different from Harlem girls. They dress different, they act different. Every borough, and you could tell the difference in the dress code. Though we dress the same, but it was just something about the swagger, the way we talk from Harlem, how they talk from the Bronx, and you know, it was just so easy to get Bronx girls back then, man. They just adored us, man. They adored how we talked. They adored how we was out there getting money. We was about hustling, you know.
Nah, I agree with you because I didn't deal with Harlem chicks either. Like, because I was from Harlem, so I never liked dealing with Harlem chicks.
Yeah.
I only been with 2 Harlem chicks my whole life. That's
hold up. I want to get Sean Dew. Sean Dew said Whitestone Movie Theater was ran by Chickie Can Do Infinite from the Bronx. Big shout out, first of all, to Chickie. Chickie Papers in the court. He should be coming home soon. Bronx legend. And John Cuff, you know what I mean? From the Preacher Crew, you know. Everything is looking good. I mean, you know, we got brothers trying to get out. But yeah, you know, Chickie was official, my brother. You already know Hunts Point area down there by Southern Boulevard and all that. I mean, you know, come on, man. It is what it is. I just wanted to acknowledge you, Sean Dew. You know what it is. But, you know, we on, man. I've been on here a minute. I got to go lay down. You know what I mean? I'm tired. We could always read through
old now. You're getting old. You're getting tired early.
You already know. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we definitely going to do this again because I can
part two. Yes.
You know what I mean? 10 Toes, stand for coming down. You know, everybody just tell who you are, where you can be found on social media, so we get this thing popping. Everybody grow their channel.
Yeah.
Definitely support 10 Toes Down TV. You heard?
We're gonna do it on all the channels. Whenever we go, I'm gonna let my channel know when I'm going live on this channel, that channel. We go to this channel.
We show love. I'm
now we're gonna do it again. As a matter of fact, if we ain't doing nothing Thursday or Friday, we could come back up here and do it again. You know what I mean? And you know
Wednesday.
what I mean?
How about Wednesday? About Wednesday?
Today's Monday. Yeah, Wednesday's good. What you doing, 10 Toes? You want to do something Wednesday?
I gotta work on Wednesday.
At what time?
About the same time.
All right.
You know, when you already in the house and comfortable. You know what I mean?
Man.
All right.
All right. So it'll be like 9 o'clock Wednesday, after 9 Wednesday or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'll probably bring Ron G. I'll bring somebody else up here too. All right.
Yeah.
A matter of fact,
I want you to bring what's the name up here, man. Huh?
Who you want me to bring? I said I'm gonna talk to you privately.
Listen, bring Lily up here, man.
You want Lily? You want Lily?
I'm gonna take Lily back. Take Lily. I'm gonna take her back. Before,
I love this conversation. Listen, you know why?
This is before SWV even dropped a joint. I was the first one that they played the tape for me in the whip.
Wow.
And Coco was in the whip, and they played it for me. And I was in the car, and I was like, "Yo, let me get that." They was like, "Nah, we can't give it to you. We just recorded it in the studio." I'm like, "That's not your singing. Sing me a song. Your motherfuckers can't sing." Word. Back in the days, bro.
Yeah, I might have to bring her up so you can tell her that story.
Yeah,
word up, man.
It's dope, bro. Because you know what's real about this is it's the respect for the age group and the generations. I'm younger than you niggas, so I can't sit here and freestyle like, yo, I was you know what I'm saying? And that's what's so dope. I'm the youngest one playing my young position. That's so real. Because one thing about y'all was around a culture that I began to eat off of. If y'all didn't create it, I would have never got $1 off of it, even though we fucked the community up. You know what I'm saying? But y'all was around for all this shit. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Remember, I was 15 years old when y'all niggas was buying BMWs. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
Yeah. Big shout out to Angel Dickinson.
SNS Club. I want to ask you a question. When you go in the SNS Club 10 Souls down to Big D, I was still in the house. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
Nah, I never been in the SNS
I used to like
Club.
the Latin quarters. I was Latin quarter dude. I love Latin quarters.
I was in Latin quarters. I was in Union Square.
Chef was Latin quarters because he was up the hill with the Dominicans. So he liked the Dominican mommies. That's what that was.
So what was the Latin quarters at? Downtown, right?
Downtown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You go with the Dominicans downtown, South Bronx.
Because they had the Brooklyn Puerto Ricans came and mixed in there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All my girls were Dominican girls anyway. I only messed with Dominican and Boricua girls. That's it.
I knew that for Latin quarters. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you, I came out of Latin quarters in Union Square with some of the biggest jury.
Yeah. He was a stick-up kid.
Big D went in there. You went there for the chat.
Yo, when I was young, that was just my thing when I was young.
That was his thing.
Hold up. Hey, hold up. Before I tune out, somebody was asking earlier, what's in your cup, Zeke?
Actually, champagne, man. Champagne, mimosas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's what they figured. Cause it was asking what was in your cup. You
Yeah, I
know?
had some Blue Bel Air in mine.
Yeah, some
But
mimosas,
y'all,
man.
everybody, make sure y'all tune in. Tell them where y'all at on social media before we tap out, man. Old
Well,
man
I'm
got
Z Black Feed the Wolves, but support this. This is real. What I do is a little chaotic, but this is some real shit. Z Black Feed the Wolves on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right. So go ahead. Where you from, Big D? Where they find you at? And what you got going on?
YouTube, Big D, BGF Entertainment on YouTube.
All right,
BGF.
Yeah.
All right.
You'll see me and Easy Mo B. That's me and Easy Mo B channel for all our music.
Easy Mo B, Tupac, Easy Mo B.
Yeah, me and him got 10 albums we doing. We working on a new album now. We got a double album out, and we got the new album dropping summertime.
All right, that's peace.
So just know when we go on tour, we got to take the insurance out for Big D because we know he may snatch a chain. So we got to tell niggas like, listen, put the jewels away. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that was when I was younger, man. I don't even play in that field. I own my own label now. I got merchandise. I got all clothing lines, everything. That was when I was young.
All right.
That's dangerous shit.
Hey, Shaq, man, tell them where they find you at, big homie.
Yo, Shaq.
10 Toes Down TV. The number 10 Toes Down TV on YouTube.
Yeah, I was just watching your channel just a couple days ago.
Yeah, 10 Toes. 10,
yeah. I was just watching your joint a couple days ago.
Yeah, make sure y'all tune in to 10 Toes Down, my man Zekee Black, an official Big D. You know what I mean? You know, that's where we at, man.
The streets
of
New York, man.
But Wednesday, so we on Wednesday. We're gonna do something Wednesday, man. Now that we got a vibe, you know what I mean? And you know, it won't be reporting about, you know, Kayslay. You know, rest in peace to the big homie. He was always there for me from I was in the joint. You know what I mean? He was holding me down, sending me the straight stuntings. I mean, those joints made the best, you know, vest to keep a knife up out you. You know what I mean?
Good night, no, at least.
You know,
yo,
that's the big homie right there with some of his girls. You know what I mean?
Harlem lost a good one,
we love you, man. We're going to miss you. And thank you for everything you did for the culture and for me, you know?
Harlem definitely lost a good one, man.
Yeah. You know?
There's no other DJs out there that's realer than him, man. He kept the underground alive, man. He definitely rode for the underdogs in the hip-hop world.
Yeah. So that's where we at, man. Just tapping out. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you for tuning in for the history lesson, the rest in peace and all that. 10 Toes, you know I'm here whenever you need me. You already know how we move, family. You know what I mean? So, you know, Zekee Black, Big D. All right. God bless the family.
Salute.